War never changes. But maybe for this incident of the Mojave, things will happen differently than they happened before. After all, who's to say what the real story was? How many vaults were undiscovered outside of New Vegas? After the missiles fell and everything was destroyed, many people chose to ignore the possibilities of just how many vaults did Vault-Tec truly leave out there in the world somewhere. So, let's start this adventure in Fallout New Vegas with a new chapter called Fallout Blood and Sand. Our story will take us to an only recently discovered vault, Vault 44, where Vault-Tec had very interesting ideas for this population. So, just now, one of the cryotubes in the vault, for whatever reason, is unlocked, and the naked figure inside finally breathes fresh air for, well, I don't know how long now.
What the? No, 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 this can't be happening. No. Was
You
the street is
hear,
fine.
you can barely see anything as your vision is starting to clear, but you just hear very old music playing over the speakerphone, and then it stops.
Let me out! Let me out! I'm going to start banging on the surface of my cryotube.
The cryotube opens.
Isaac will stumble out, looking around wide eyed.
You are in a very kind of narrow hallway with a lot of other cryotubes that you can't really even see into because they're almost frozen over completely. You see one cryotube at the end has been opened, but there is no one else around you. For reference, this vault particular design is very similar to Vault 111. However, this vault in particular has a lot more air duct shafts and different tubes that lead into the cryotubes, so to speak.
Is there a terminal in here?
There is indeed a terminal over by the doorway. It appears to be functioning. There does appear to be a little bit of power in the facility. There are lights active.
I'm going to towards the terminal. Try and put in my credentials to unlock the terminal.
You patch in your credentials, things that you've remembered over the years. You're actually surprised that your memory even comes back to you at this point. But you enter them in. Would you roll me a computer check, please? Or science?
You mean technology?
Technology, sorry.
Hold up. For some reason, this didn't send me in.
Do you want me just to roll? I've got physical dice here if you want me to roll for you.
I can roll physical dice too. It just was being a baby. Let me just hit the link again. Here we go. Do, 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 do. $31.
You are easily able to open the doorway. There is a long hallway that stretches to the right and a long hallway that stretches to the left. Some of the signs that have been located, you can read up. One points to the right and it says armory and storage. The other points to the left saying surface elevator.
All right. No, I'm going to first see if I can look into the files to see how long I've been asleep.
You open
I
up the computer.
recognize.
You open up
I'm
the
just going to
computer.
say for others, I recognize the reason my character is like so competent with this stuff is he kind of made some of tech that went into that
In,
cryo freezer.
indeed, you did, and it's gotten quite dusty over the years. Although this monitor appears to have been last logged in 2 days ago.
What the? Shouldn't be right.
You
The
take you
vault wasn't
you take a
scheduled to
look at
be
the
open yet.
you take a look at the year. You've been cryo frozen a long time. A very long time. Little over 100 years, if my mind remembers correctly.
Uh, I'll blink several times. Go. No, we weren't supposed to be frozen this long. Supposed to be frozen this long. What happened?
There
I was
are
supposed to get out.
there are two logs you can read. Both of these
I'll
log
check these.
entries were both of these log entries were made about 50 years ago.
All right.
Log entry 1. Overseer, Tremel. Look, I do not care what the upper brass says. We did not expect the FEV to react to the gas the way we did. I do not care what they tell you. You get me those supplies. If we do not get a heavy dosage of the FEV2 down here, our subjects are going to die, and this entire experiment is going to be for nothing. And tell the security down on level 5 to get their butts in gear. The last thing we need is people slacking on the job. Let's get this over with so we can all get out of here. We've only got 2 more years until we're done. Second entry log. It was made a week after the first. It seems to be made by engineer Travis. It starts off kind of small, but mostly it's just going into medical details, and then it goes pipe structure broke down on sub-basement 5. FEV got into the contamination flame unit. We didn't expect this new mixture of FEV that we made to react the way it did to flammable material. It created a large explosion and damaged the water system and some of the cooling and heating. The lower levels of the vault had to be abandoned due to extreme heat or cold conditions and FEV spilling out all over the place. Several people were exposed, currently as ordered by Overseer, to put them into stasis and or environmental pods and to see how the FEV reacts to their systems. However, due to the water pipe leakage, the front part of the vault gate has been cracked and it is now forced open. We cannot close the vault at this point. We are working on a way to make a barricade to prevent them from getting in, but we're running out of time. That is the last log you see.
And how long ago was that?
That was made a week after that. That one was made about maybe 30 years ago.
Who from?
Say again.
My character mutters to himself. From who from getting it? Right. He's going to go check the status of the rest of the pods.
Most of the pods are all frozen over so well you can barely even see inside them. As pertain to the login, there did appear to be some sort of cryo leak, and several of the pods are actually a lot of them are kind of frozen over, so you can't see inside them, but that's just normal. But some of them are so frozen over, they're basically big blocks of ice, and you can't even see the pod.
Right. I'm going to start first working on a method um, to set these up so they'll eventually defrost.
Okay, roll me another tech.
There's people inside here.
I know, I know.
Most of them.
I know. Roll me a technology and see if you can do it. This will be a DC of 16
Oh yeah, I can do that. I
because
have to roll over two.
it's a fairly complicated process.
You say that, but I have a base of 14 in the skill.
Excellent. So you succeed. It will probably take about a week or two to actually thaw them out. But the process is beginning and you don't have a whole lot of power. Actually, the entire facility is only operating at 25% power efficiency at the moment. It says, warning, error, error, leakage on level 5. Please fix, please fix.
All right. I'm going to first make a log. Before I do that, I'm going to do this as an open log for anyone to find. The log will be like, my name is Dr. Wilson, or Dr. Isaac Wilson. I am a scientist. I seem to have been woken up, or I seem to have come unfrozen. I have done my best efforts to set things right and to wake up the rest of you. If I should fail and someone find this, please save those inside the pods. They are valuable.
All right. By the way, can you PM me that message so I can put it in Rumors of the
Yeah,
Wasteland when the session is over? All right. Excellent.
yeah. I'll PM it to you tomorrow morning.
Will do. All right. So I take it you go check out the armory and the equipment shop.
Yeah, I'll go down there first.
You proceed down the hallway with the lights slowly kind of dimming and flickering occasionally. You come around the side corner and you see the room to the armory, and you open the door and your heart sinks just a little bit. The armory has been almost completely raided. However, you do manage to find a few things. You manage to find a couple spare vault suits. You manage to find a leather jacket. You manage to find a single 9mm pistol that does appear to have some ammo for it, about 2 clips. And you find a lot of scrap, a lot of robotics and electronics that are half there, half not. Basically, any parts that anyone didn't think they could sell seems to have been taken.
Quick, important question. Did I find the backpack?
Yes, you found a backpack.
I'm going to grab the put on the Vault-Tec suit, toss over the leather jacket, holster the pistol, and then just start filling the bag with scrap parts.
All right. You're easily able to fill up the whole backpack with pretty much all standard supplies you need. Let me tell you what you need, and can you write this down? Are you ready to write stuff down? I'll tell you the supplies you find.
Yeah.
Because remember, me and Natsu made some items.
All right.
So you find a stim pack. This gives you regeneration 3 for like a few minutes. You find a thing of Radex or Radaway. Basically, it gives you resistance radiation for like an hour. You also find some bandages, some basic medical and survival supplies, and ironically, when you scrounge through one of the little kind of areas where some of the backpacks were kept, you find an old dusty Pip-Boy. It's not one of the
Sweet.
3000 models. It appears to be one of the 2800 models, slightly older, but a Pip-Boy nonetheless.
Good boy, nonetheless. All right, I'm going to try out the Pit Boy, shake it a few times because that's science for you. Before I'm going to try powering it on and seeing if it works.
You flick the switch, it gives a little flicker. You almost think it won't work, but it does come on. Pip-Boy appears to be working properly.
Nice. I'll stick that onto my wrist. Then I am going to go um down to towards the fifth floor. Start making my way down there.
You head all the way down toward the 5th floor. The elevator surprisingly does take you there. The moment the elevator opens at the 5th floor, you are almost completely shrouded in darkness. The you can tell that there is water or some sort of substance on the floor that has flooded or leaked and is now about maybe ankle deep.
All right. Going to slowly start moving forwards. As I
Yep.
do so, I'm going to take um turn on my um
The Pip-Boy
turn on
has
my
a
pit
built-in
boy.
flashlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. So you turn it on and you can now see that this is one of the experimental hallways. There are red and yellow tubes that line the center of the hallway in its kind of dome shape, very metal-esque structure, very similar to some of the first style vaults. As you continue wading through the water, you can see that there is a little bit of a blue liquid that strains throughout the water. And as you continue on down, um, there is a little bit of a spark flash, like where something was damaged, but that's just a typical whatnot. And eventually, when you get down to about midway, you feel something swim by your foot.
I'm going to stand instantly still as I slowly draw the gun and turn the light towards the water.
Roll a perception check, please.
Oh God, perception. Typically chosen to make this character suck at perception. 12.
12, that's enough. You shine the light down and you can see a flash of silver in the water just below you. A fish.
What the actual?
You can hear skittering coming from down the hallway.
Sorry.
It's
All right.
okay. You can hear
So,
skittering coming from down the hallway.
Gidrin coming from down the hallway.
Hmm.
All right. I'll turn the flashlight in that direction.
You see, crawling alongside one of the walls, what looks to be a giant cockroach.
I'm going to let out a shout and do the first thing that I react to. I'm going to try to shoot this giant cockroach of Scary Doom.
Roll me a ranged attack. What'd you get?
15.
That hits easily. The cockroach fails its save by more than 4. You kill it with the gun. You fire, the bullet goes straight through its head, and you see some of its guts and brains kind of spill out, and the bug falls into the water.
That was. Was that mutation brought by the FD? Or was it something else?
You continue
I'm
on
going to.
down, yeah, you continue on down the hallway. You eventually get to the main lab room. The door is barred shut. You will need to either roll a strength check to try and pry it open with maybe a crowbar that you found in the survival kit, or a technology check to open the door. The DC for the technology check will be 20, because it is a very difficult check.
Technology, of course. 30.
All right. It takes some effort, but you manage to open the door, and you are now in the main weapons lab and bioengineering testing facilities. It is a vast, open, kind of almost cafeteria slash science looking area. There's also a shooting range off to the left where they were testing certain weapons down here. You notice that this area is also flooded. There appears to be nothing of real notice here, no more other massive amounts of fish or roaches. There's an occasional flash of silver in the water with the fish, and you notice these fish are kind of large, but they don't appear to be buying you any mind.
Oh, they're not humans, so they're significantly better. I'm going to look around this lab for any um thing of interest.
Roll me a perception.
22.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you find another stim pack, and you find 2 vials, or like science vials, of a strange blue liquid that you're not familiar with at the moment.
Can I roll expertise on this?
Yes, you can.
All right. Let me just write down those stim packs. 3 stim packs. Universal. This is just going to be a universal expertise thanks to Jack of all trades.
Hmm.
20.
This appears to be condensed stable nitroglycerin.
Ooh, I could use you. And I will put you in the pack.
Other
As
than
I.
that, you don't see too much else around you that appears to be useful. Most everything looks like it's either been taken or too damaged. You do see the overseer's office up on the top floor stairs.
Alright, I'll move towards that
You eventually
next.
get to the overseer's office, and you open the door as a little bit of water and mist kind of sprays off the door just a little bit. And as you open into the vast kind of oval shaped or round shaped setting of the overseer, and you look to the overseer master control, which is a big circular computer system, you see in the chair a skeleton wearing a Vault 44 jumpsuit.
Oh, overseer, I presume. I'm going to move towards her.
You
Go
move
ahead.
towards, it's a him, you move towards the skeletal figure, and it appears to have a hole in the bottom of its chin and up near the top of its head. And you can see another pistol, although this one appears to have been damaged by rust and time and corrosion, lying on his desk that appears to have had a round fired through it. It appears that just from basically looking at this scenario, at least it would seem, the overseer took his own life for whatever reason.
Can I make an investigation check here?
You may.
20. What
Although
really happened?
interesting, that's a good enough roll to get this. The interesting thing about it is, although it's set up very keenly to look like it was a suicide, you notice one thing. The positioning of the bullet, typically when someone would shoot themselves in that area, is a little bit off, just a hair. It's tilted a little bit too far inwards. It's kind of difficult for a person, especially if another person is resisting, to point a gun upwards through someone's chin and shoot in a perfectly straight line. And it's crooked, it's off. It looks like the overseer was resisting. It doesn't look like a very clean shot. It actually looks a bit crooked, like someone was struggling as they shot.
I'll jot this down on my Hit Boys notepad and continue looking through this area.
Continue to look through the area. You don't find too much more of use. You do find some pre-war money and some civilian clothes in a duffel bag that's over on top of one of the lockers. It's actually one of the only things in this room that's dry. But you do find the Overseer's terminal.
Alright, I'll go into that.
Overseer's terminal requesting password permission to seal breach on level 5 and close vault gate.
Let's hack.
Yep, roll me your tick.
19.
Okay. You're going to need to make another check. That's one password attempt failed.
25.
All right, that's enough. After a little bit of a pause and think about what the password could be, you enter it and you get it. You enter the Overseer's terminal. You find the activation for sealing off level 5 and sealing the front entrance to the vault, and you also find one data entry log.
Alright, check out this data entry before.
You're going to look at the data entry.
Yeah.
Overseer Tremel, data log entry, last entry unknown, date unknown. I didn't know that they would do this. I didn't know that they were going to be using me for such horrible things. I guess I should have expected. It's what we at Vault-Tec do best. And now that I am no longer a needed pawn, they plan to finish me. Well, I don't plan on going down without a fight. I have a gun and 9 rounds. I'm going to take 9 with me before I go. As a little spit in their face, I'll open the vault and see how many people can get out. I just didn't realize what we'd be letting in. Maybe I didn't realize what was out there on the surface. But if anyone is reading this, you have to save them. They were defenseless. What were they supposed to do? They were civilians. They didn't have military weapons. I suppose it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, get out there and save them. Here are their names. And he gives a list of about, 3 names that you recognize of people who were in the vault. The other names you don't really recognize.
Alright, I'm going to take down those names.
You take down those names and record them in your Pip-Boy.
Alright.
You do also find one thing in the Overseer's pocket coat. You
So,
find an audio tape.
I'm going to stick it into my Pip-Boy.
You listen for a moment and it goes a little bit static. It's gurgly and appears to have been damaged from years of corrosion. However, you do manage to hear a few things. Come on, bring it. You can hear it static. It on. Come on. You hear something roar and you hear the bending and cracking of glass. And you realize now that when you entered the Overseer's office, the glass window that's up above is broken. You didn't see any of the glass shards because you're in ankle-deep water. But now that you think about it, you can see some shines in the water. Whatever attacked the Overseer came from above, but there's no floor above. It's just the ventilation shaft. You hear something roar, though. It didn't sound like any creature that you're familiar with, however.
Now, here's the important question. Do I hear the roar from the tape, or do I hear the roar from the ventilation?
You hear the roar from the tape.
Alright. I'm going to slowly go up the ventilation.
You can see that there is indeed it kind of looks like someone took the ventilation shaft and kind of pried it open a bit outward. And there are very large claw marks on either side.
I'll take note of those as well. Shape, the size, meter width, claws. Around a little bit because there's no marks on the body over your body of a that some beast ravaging her. Yet it was made to Factor Death was made to look like a suicide.
Indeed.
And
Very
yet we
odd
have a
setup.
frown and then move towards the terminal. I still have to fix the breach. So
Yep.
entering the code to fix the breach, right?
It says when you enter the code, it says sealing breach now, level 5, contained. Level 5, stable. Closing, vault door. Error, obstruction in vault door. Please move.
Right, the vault door was broken. However, that seal should fix the cryo the imbalance in the cryo chamber. So I'm going to head back towards the level I woke up on, unless there's anything else down here.
There is nothing else of interest. Only way left is to go up toward the vault door, it seems.
Alright. Well, I'll go up towards the vault door.
You go up towards the vault entrance, all the way up to level 1. You exit out the elevator and you can see the large entryway shaft that most of these vaults were famous for. You have entered the frontal opening. You can see a little bit of light coming through the vault opening, and you look now and you can see that the vault entrance has been completely torn apart. Now keep in mind, these doors were meant to keep out not only radiation, but to withstand nuclear blasts. Something blew this door inward.
Hell?
You can see two men over on the far side now. They don't appear to be paying any attention to you. They're wearing odd clothing. They have red and dark, kind of almost old garb, like a sack or durlap or a tunic that a person would wear. They are wearing white, what look like faceless motorcycle helmets with goggles, and they both have brown bandanas covering their face. They also seem to be wielding very large looking machetes at their hips. Look, I told you, we didn't need to kill this one. Whatever do we have to tell? It doesn't matter what we bring back as long as we bring back the proper goods. She was just going to be a slave anyway. Do you honestly think you want to put her through that? I suppose so. Start going through her backpack. I'll take a look at the vault. He stands up and he turns towards you and he goes, ah!
Just going to slowly raise to go. Hello there.
He immediately tries to throw a knife at you, so let's roll initiative. We'll just do a quick little combat thing here. I'll just go ahead and make these guys minions because that is what they are. What did you get for initiative?
Second. My initiative is 20.
All right, you go first.
All right. Now, quick question. Would I know about my powers?
When you were first being experimented on, you had an idea of what you could do. However, you're finding that as you've been awake and conscious more, you feel like you have this third adaptation. For example, humans often feel their limbs and their mind and their thoughts. You feel more of an extension. For example, when a human feels air flow through their hands going down the road, or when you feel air breeze across you, you can almost feel some third presence and you can actually reach out and tap it. And it seems to be like almost like with a thought or with a idea, this feeling manifests at a greater edge. So yes, you can use access to your powers.
All right. Um. Well, I'll worry about that as I'm just going to try to shoot one of these with my gun. As he just threw, guy who just threw a knife at me.
All right, roll me a ranged attack.
20.
That hits. That is damage 2. He must roll a save. So that is 1d20 plus 1. He fails, and he is a minion, so he dies. Boom! Your bullet goes straight through his chest, punches right through his makeshift football armor, and kills him. The other
All right.
one will leap over him and try to slash at you with the machete. What is your parry?
6.
So overall, your defense is 16.
Yep.
Okay. He hits. What is your toughness?
6 as well, so I believe I rolled the save, right?
1d20 plus 6, yes.
8.
Got 8. Okay.
So how much damage is that? Or how much did I fail by?
I know. So let's see here. Okay, so that was not quite enough to fail by 8. So you take a bruise or a damage, if you will. So there is no minuses yet, but you basically take a damage, so to speak,
I
a
failed by
bruise.
1 degree, right?
You fail by 1 degree. Yes.
Yep. So I take a -2 for the resistance checks.
-1, I believe.
Yeah, -1
Yeah.
circumstance bound.
Yep. He comes forward and he slashes you, and he creates a very nasty gash across your arm.
All right. I'm going to hiss out that loudest bit of a scream as I'm going to instinctively reach out and try using my affliction.
All right. So he has to roll his will save, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. He has a default of 1 because he's a low-level minion. He fails. He got a 13.
All right. Well, he gets enslaved.
He charges forward and he says, "In the name of Caesar's lit." He stops. He freezes. as if though momentarily suspended in time, and his eyes are locked upon yours.
Who the hell are you?
I am Dother of the 2nd Battalion.
Why did you attack me?
All will fall before Caesar's legion.
Caesar?
Hail
Like the
Caesar!
Roman guy?
Hail Caesar!
Stop that.
He stops.
It's annoying. Explain to me what you were doing here.
We were trying to. He just falls over dead. You feel his mind just disappear, and he's dead, face first in front of you.
Well, that's annoying. Good help is so hard to find nowadays.
Creed, actually, what is your will defense? You're actually not even going to get a roll for this, it looks like.
8.
You have an 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Why, hello there. Another little rat escapes its cage. No matter.
And Creed, you are incapacitated. You lose your vision and you fall forward.
Okay.
Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch are all non-existent. You can still think in your mind, and you can still think and act in your mind, but you have lost feeling for touch, smell, taste, sight, hearing. You feel your body move. It
Do
seems
I?
it yeah. Well, it's weird.
At least touch.
It's like touch is gone, but like you know that feeling you get like just before you drop on a roller coaster? Like that sense of inertia that's about to go downward, but you don't feel any subliminal touch like hands touching something or heat or cold. But you feel an inertia pull like something dropped you or you fell in extreme height very quickly.
All right.
After a while, you wake up in a bed, maybe? You stare up at a light fixture and a moving fan as your vision slowly comes back into play.
I'm going to slowly turn my eyes back and forth as I test my wrists.
Test your wrists. You can move them. It's
They're
groggy.
not.
It feels as if though you were just heavily medicated and now you're just now waking up from it.
All right. I'm going to keep still as I let my body work through this.
You hear a very friendly voice from over to your right. Whoa there. Hey, you're awake. You okay?
I'm going to slowly turn my head.
You see a older looking gentleman, maybe in his late 40s, early 50s, balding head with a white mustache and somewhat of a shaved beard. Hey, it's okay.
Open
Hey,
it.
it's okay. Name's Doc Mitchell. How you feeling? You okay?
Did you get the name of that bus that hit me?
Uh, not entirely sure who you're talking about. I found you, when I found you, you were laying outside on the rocks out over there by Black Hills and your head was almost cracked open. No concussion or anything, but I had to stitch you up a little bit.
Puts my head to my hand.
You
My
can
hand to
definitely
my head.
you can feel the stitches. It looks like there was a gash that he had to stitch up.
Something about rats and cages.
Well, like I said, you were the only one out there when I found you, so I figured I'd patch you up, and I'll be darned, you were still alive. Nice to see your motor functions are coming back.
Looks up and tilts his head. I was the only one. Should have been two more bodies.
Doc shakes his head. You're the only one I found out there. I'm sorry.
What about the vault?
Oh yeah, I did see the vault. It's still open. I didn't even know that there was a vault down there. I mean, I guess we're discovering new ones every day, but you know,
Should have been two more. It was attacked by Caesar's Legion?
Caesar's Legion. What were those fellas doing out there? They don't have any business coming around here at Good Springs.
Who are they?
Oh, they're a very barbaric tribe, if you will, or legion that has joined together and is causing quite a bit of a chaos out here in the Mojave Wasteland. Royal bastards, if you ask me. You're definitely a vault dweller, that's for sure. I can see that by your Pip-Boy and vault suit. I don't want to alarm you, but it's been quite a few years since you've last stumbled out into the wasteland. You might want to stay laying down for what I'm about to tell you.
What, the 1,000 years have passed? Or sorry, 100 years?
He's like, well, at least you had some intelligence down there in the vault. I can imagine you've guessed what happened. The world isn't quite what it used to be.
Yes, I've pieced together that. There's that. First, I thought was the. Well, that doesn't matter. But at first, I thought it had something to do with the vault. But running into those individuals outside of the gates proved otherwise. So, what happened here?
Well, bit of a different story wherever you go in the States, but basically, the bombs fell, if you know what I mean. And the vaults were some of the only places where people were really able to stabilize, and there were some surface survivors, but not many. Those that are on the surface have either mutated to interesting proportions, and the world has become a bit of a wasteland, so to speak. Here in the Mojave, you're just outside of New Vegas. The New Vegas Strip, believe it or not, is still active and still has power. For whatever reason, this particular area of the Mojave wasn't hit that well hard with nukes. A lot of us were spared the expenses, if you will, of some others. At least as far as I know. Mostly that's just rumor. I'm not exactly a man of history myself. I'm usually just a medicine and doctor and keep people patched up, you know? Currently, you're in the
Right.
currently you're in the town of Good Springs. Nice little quaint little ghost town we have out here.
Nod slowly at that. Right. Ghost Springs. Or was it Good Springs?
It's a town of Good Springs, and he starts telling you a little bit about the town, just that how it's a small old mining town that was out here in the Mojave, but now is just kind of a ghost town since the bombs fell.
Is only half listening. He thinks over what to do next.
All right,
Alright then.
and that is where we will leave your character.
Great. Woo.
All right. Who would like to be next? Or do we want to just go down to Bunny? Yeah, we'll just go down the way. We'll do Bunny, Cornito, and then Redcap, and then Splat.
I can actually talk now or no? If
Yes,
no, I'm. Oh shit. Okay.
just a moment, Bunny. I'm going to use the restroom and we will begin on your story. Why don't you
All
go ahead
right.
and tell us, though, I'll still be listening. Why don't you go ahead and tell us where you're going to begin your story? I assume in Vault 44 or in just on the outside after just being. Wait, no, you wanted a month being out of Vault 44, yes?
Yep.
Right. So what?
Otherwise, I'll park my truck.
Okay. So what area of the Mojave is your character going to start in?
Well, going to be very honest. Mm, I'm not even. I'm not full deep into the lore of freaking New Vegas, so the closest thing that comes to my mind is where's the area that's with most, or at least a decent type of people, like Good Springs, and I just basically truck
Well,
around for
yeah,
supplies, or
Good Springs, Novak. I mean, the Vegas Strip does have good people, although you'd have to be pretty wealthy to get in there. I would say that you probably do business with the gun runners outside of Novak, so I would say Novak or Good Springs for you specifically.
all right. So I'd be parked outside of Good Springs. I'd be parked outside of Good Springs, just waiting for
All right, just a moment.
effectively people to come up and be like, "Hey, we need you to fucking move some shit."
Our story now takes us to not far from where our first character was, in the town of Good Springs. It's a quaint little town, nestled kind of far away from a lot of the activities of New Vegas itself. But nonetheless, it is still a good trade post and still gains a decent amount of notice from certain people in the Mojave Wasteland. There is a massive junker truck parked out front. This is one of the trucks that is known for particular trade from here in Novak, especially, since both Novak and Goodsprings often find themselves in need of supplies. You stand out front, your particular character. What do people see when they see your character?
When they see my character, they see a 5'6", dark-skinned man with dreadlocks for hair, as well as bits of shrapnel intertwined with it. He wears a old poncho and jeans. On his arms are effectively makeshift gauntlets. There's another thing is the fact of one very easy telling feature. Half of his face is constantly red. What do I mean by this? It looks like it's bleeding, but the difference is it's like half healed third degree wounds on the left side of his face.
Right. There's another character NPC that you may meet that has that all over his body, so
Hey.
not exactly out of the ordinary. There is a lot of dangerous things out here in the Mojave. You see an old man walk up to you who you now know to be called Old Pete. Him and a few others come up and they start helping. They help out a little bit as you load stuff. And what's your character's name?
Nikolai, but most people call me Nick.
Old
Or
Pete.
that ass. Or that asshole.
Old Pete walks up to you. Hey Nick, thanks for coming out on such short notice. We kind of had a little bit of a ruckus happening last night.
What type of ruckus?
Oh, just some powder ganger stuff. They'll never leave us alone until we start dealing with it, but at the moment it's no big deal.
Are you sure? I could start running them over with the truck.
Well, as much as I would like to see that, they'd probably just blame it on us.
Fair.
Nonetheless, we do appreciate the last minute trade out there to Novak, and it's kind of a shame that Novak doesn't have a sheriff at the moment. Hope they manage to find one here sooner or later.
What happened to the fucking sheriff?
Well, from the rumors, he seemed to have gotten kidnapped by a local gang of bandits.
Ah, hell. We can't just have a decent leader, can we? No, they have to get fucking.
Well, we didn't have decent leaders before the bombs fell. I doubt we have them now.
Fair. Okay, so where around Novak do you want me to take this?
Would you please take it to the Sammy and Sess Inn over there on just on the east side of Novak? Take it to the casino. It's the you can't miss it. It's the only casino in Novak at the moment.
Okay. Thanks, Pete.
No worries. And keep an eye out on those fellas staying at the hotel over there by the Junk City. They came over here asking some kind of weird questions, and he was kind of out of place, you know. Just
Wait,
figured
wait,
I'd
wait, wait, wait. Questions like he
questions.
just
Well, questions like a person would ask if they were planning on moving out here, but he didn't look like the type of fellow who would be out here hanging around in Good Springs. Way too nice of a suit, all checkered and dressed up like that. It looked like he came right out of the strip. Probably did.
oh, he's a prissy fuck. Okay.
They finish loading the supplies in your truck, and they shakes your hand. And he says, "Well, thank you."
All right. When will I be expecting payment? Either like food or well, he slams the truck a little.
He actually, if that is actually a good point because vehicles are still a thing and gas is extremely valuable. So he cuts. He can do one of two things. He can give you more caps and no gas, or he can cut your pay by 75% but give you gas.
I'll take the gas.
All right. He goes to the back and he hands you. He pays you. Go ahead and write this down anywhere you want. You have 50 bottle caps and one tank
Alright.
and one kind of carton or I guess gallon of gas.
Yep, because freaking internal battery or not, I still need the fucking gas.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, Creed, if you are still there,
So how many bottle caps again?
50.
50.
50.
I am.
As you get in your truck and go off, Creed, as you're sitting there talking to Doc Mitchell, you can hear a truck rev up and start to drive away. And that's all I'll say in that scene. As you're driving down the road from Good Springs to Novak, you notice that it's a little bit quiet. I mean, it's a peaceful day. There's usually nothing on the road, but you'd always expect to see maybe some wanderers on the side or whatnot.
Or some little shit that wants to be an asshole.
Yep. But the drive overall to Novak and Nipton, the two areas where Novak and Nipton are the two cities where you tend to deliver the most. And you pull in, you do your deliveries, and you pull up next to the casino that you're supposed to be at. And you start helping unload things. You've been here before. Everyone knows you. Everyone's fairly friendly.
Yep. Alright. Everything's going peachy keen. That's fucky. I'm gonna start rolling perception just to try and look around to see what's off because this feels nice. Too nice. Too nice.
Go ahead and roll me a perception. What did you get?
24.
All right, just a moment. Let me make a new channel here. What'd you get?
24.
You look around and you can see kind of one person over by the entryway to the city or to the little town. It's not even like, it's just like little tiny towns. They're little ghost towns basically mostly throughout the Mojave. And you can see that there's a guy in kind of road leathers looking kind of he's smoking a cigarette, but he's very obviously watching you and those supplies.
Who outside of me being the guy that's like,
Most
you
of
know,
most of the civilians that are helping you with the crates are armed, but they're mostly just civilians in standard street clothes helping you with the boxes.
okay. I actually want to roll a insight to see if that dude gives me the vibes of,
Okay,
oh, robber. This guy's probably gonna try and steal my shit.
roll me insight.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
It'd be 12. It'd be 12.
Um, I mean, you're not entirely sure. He's definitely paying attention to you, and he's not obviously just chilling. Like he's actively looking at you and what you're doing. With the way he's looking at the crates, you might say, yeah, maybe, but it's hard to tell.
Okay. I'm going to keep a standard action ready for actually fucking shooting that guy.
Okay.
Now, granted, I don't have guns, right? Ranged installation. I am literally shooting part of my finger.
Well, yeah, you could disguise it as a knife throw because you do have a knife. You have a basic survival kit. So
Yep.
if you don't want people to kind of look at you and be like, ah, you can disguise it as your knife throw. You can just like be like,
Yeah.
you can kind
Or
of
just
flick it
like
out.
I pick out a knife and it looks like I'm throwing something when it really is
Yeah.
it's me launching a fucking finger.
I basically assume you're like throwing your bone shards at him or something, like fucking
Yep.
Doomsday does or whatever. Okay, I get you.
Yep.
Um, he does eventually walk up to you, and he says, "Ah, nice haul."
Yeah. It's a nice haul.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame what happened around here after the sheriff disappeared.
Okay. What happened? I'm a
Well,
little bit out of loop.
well, he was kind of a hothead, and from the sounds of it, from what I hear, he got kidnapped by some bandits, and now they're gonna hold him ransom for this town here.
Okay. Why are you telling me this?
Well, I figure, like, if you don't want anything bad to happen, maybe you'll just let one of those supply boxes over there just disappear, and nothing bad will happen. And then he
Okay.
looks,
I'm
and then
gonna shoot him full force in the fucking gut real quick.
you're just gonna punch him straight up.
No, not punch him straight up. Remember, my held action was to shoot him.
I
I'm
know.
all out shooting him.
So you're okay. Well, you said punch him, then you said shoot him. So what are you doing?
Shoot.
Okay. So how are you shooting him? Are you going to just kind of make it look like a punch? Because he's right in front of your face.
We gotta make it look like a punch, yes.
Okay. So you reach out, jab. So this is technically going to be a close attack, but it's still range. There's no penalty. So this will be versus his dodge.
Yep.
So roll me an attack.
Alright, I'm all out attacking for 3. So that would be this. And internal installation.
Yeah, remember, all out attack lowers your defenses.
I know. Because he wanted to be a little shit.
What'd you get?
21.
21? Okay. That easily hits. What is your damage DC?
My damage DC is 21.
21. Okay. He will roll. I'm actually going to go ahead and roll this particular one over here.
I don't think you have a.
No, I've got one over there. Huh, that's weird. Anyway, I rolled. What did you say the DC was?
21.
Okay, he gets let's see, 20, 19, 18, 17. So you do manage to make him take a -1. You hurt him. He goes into the stun tract, and you manage to stab him with what you shoot. However, he is still up. He's just taken to the stun track. He staggers backward, and you now see what he was hiding under his trench little dust leather there. He pulls out a sawn-off shotgun and fires both barrels at you point blank range.
Yep.
So, out of curiosity, what is your dodge at the moment?
My current dodge at the moment is 12 as a DC to hit me.
Okay. He easily hits that at point blank.
Yep.
What is your toughness?
I am rolling with a +7 to hit.
Okay,
Well, not
so let's see. The DC of this shotgun, believe it or not, is actually 23 because he's doing both barrels on you.
All right. So, 2 degrees.
So you failed by 2 degrees? Okay, that's a -2, and you take the stun condition.
All right.
However, you can still act.
Yep.
So he turns, boom, files both barrels right point blank at you, and that hurts.
Okay. You ain't getting any of this cargo, bitch!
All right, it's your turn.
Yep. I am going to try and intimidate the shit out of him. I'm literally going to try and scare him.
Okay, intimidation will get a +2 circumstance bonus.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Dare I ask why? Because I'm dead?
Well, he did just shoot you point blank range with a double-barreled shotgun, and you're not dead, so that's enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
Easy with the volume there, my friend.
Well,
All right.
sorry, I'm excited. So, 32. And if I do succeed in intimidating him, I get to do an aggressor instinct and attack him.
Okay, you do succeed. Go ahead and do an aggressor instinct.
All right. And go fucking punch him in the face. All out attack still. So, fuck this guy.
All right. Roll to attack. DC is 12.
26.
Okay, you hit. Damage. He gets lower this time. He gets 13. He is already
DC 20.
Yep, he is already at the second track, so that's 14, 15, 16, 18, 21. So that's not quite 2 tracks, but he moves down to the 4th track. He's hurting pretty bad. He's bleeding out. You have shot him twice, and they've gone through apparently some internal organs. He desperately goes to reload his shotgun, which he does not have rapid reload, so he has to take his turn to do that. It's back to your turn.
All right. And at this moment here, I am going to fucking take up my fist this time and punch him in the fucking... Well, no. I'm just going to smash the gun.
So you're going to go for a disarm. Okay. Roll me...
No, smash!
Okay, so you're going to attack, but still, this is going to count basically as a disarm.
Okay.
So roll me your attack roll.
All right.
The DC on this will be versus his roll. He got 15. So as long as you beat a 15, you can disarm him and smash the weapon.
19.
Okay. You win. You smash the shotgun out of his hand.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I'm doing smash. I wasn't trying to do disarm, but he wanted me to do disarm, so I'm like, okay.
Well, here's the thing. You can smash, which you did. You smashed it. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a disarm because you're hitting the gun, and he's not holding on to it. So,
sure.
The gun has gone away and is now clunkered against the ground, and he kind of starts backing up a little bit, and he starts to kind of hobble away, although he's bleeding out pretty bad.
I'm going to use extra effort to actually come up after him to smash him in the face with a fist.
I will say that is possible if you're willing to spend a hero point.
Yes.
Okay, you spend a hero point. Go ahead and roll to attack him.
25.
You hit, and he fails his thing, so this will kill him. How do you wish to kill him?
I punch his head clean off.
Okay.
It goes not into the air. No, into the floor.
So you punch him straight downward then, I take it?
Yes.
Okay, you punch straight downward, and his head just, almost like a watermelon, just pops open. and you smash. You actually smash so far through, your fist goes into the concrete and leaves a little indentation. The civilians are running over to you at the time because although you are not in the grand scheme of things massively hurt, there's a lot of blood.
Yep.
You did just get shot point blank with a shotgun.
Yeah.
A couple of the civilians come running over to you. Hey, you all right?
I got shot point blank in the frickin' chest. How you think I feel? Not great.
All right. Hey, Billy, get this guy to Doc. Come on, let's get him patched up. They help you get on over to the what looks like a little med bay that they've got in one of the housings that's still structured. And the doc kind of starts patching you up a little bit. And he's like, Jesus, that must have been some decent armor you had on.
When he takes off all my clothes, there's no armor. It's just me.
He kind of stops. Like he's about to actually start patching you up, and then he stops and he looks at you. He slowly goes towards the gun on his side, but then he stops. He thinks better of it. And he says, kind of nods. He starts to patch you up, but he's patching you up very warily right now. Like he's looking at you very oddly. He says, after he finishes bandaging you up, he says, why don't you just go on out of here for just a little bit, and I'll just pretend I didn't see nothing since you've been a very nice courier to us. But try not to flash that around, or I'm going to have to not be around that.
I don't try to flash it around, but as you've seen, someone tried to get smart with me. I didn't like it.
Yeah, and you helped us out there, so I'll consider this a favor done. But you might want to put on just maybe some fake armor there, just so people don't start asking questions about that.
Fair enough.
Quite lucky to be alive.
Yep. Didn't survive out here by being a weak bitch. Thank you.
You go back out, and the day is done. You have collected your caps. You are now, I assume you sleep in your truck, just wherever it may be.
Yep. I'm basically driving back to... I actually forgot. It'd be Good
Springs.
Good Springs. I'm just driving back to Good Springs.
All right. You park
And
your
then
truck.
Getting up from the driver's seat, locking the truck down, and just going to sleep in my fucking truck.
All right. By the way, Cornelio, I gave you your sheet, so.
Oh yeah, they have it. I just don't know. I just cannot write on top of it or something, anything like that.
Bunny, you kind of crash in for the night just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you notice that it's very calm at night, although in some places you go to, it's even worse at night, especially with the giant rad scorpions and everything all over the place. But nonetheless, there's nothing really bugging you tonight as you kind of just get ready to go to take a nice little rest in your truck. And it's at this point that you hear something outside. Make a perception check, please.
Gotcha. Oh, no. 13.
You can hear just a little bit of a scuttering, maybe? Footsteps? It's hard to tell.
Let's start to get up. And immediately just start to go out to check at least a little.
You start to check. You turn on the flashlight and kind of look around.
Yep.
You don't see anything else really around you. However, you do notice something a little off in the distance. It looks like a little campfire that maybe some travelers or some settlers had made, but you don't see anyone around the campfire. It's not that far. It's just right over the rock face there.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to go up towards the driver's seat of the truck,
Mm-hmm.
unlock down the truck so I could be able to actually move it, and start to drive further into Good Springs.
Okay, you drive a little bit further into Good Springs, kind of getting into the close, and Easy Pete's more than willing to let you stay near Good Springs.
Yep. And at this, I'm going to inform Easy Pete about the fireplace. Well, not fireplace, but little campsite just outside.
Well, yeah, a lot of Mojave traders use this area to camp out since it's one of the more peaceful areas. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but you're welcome to stay here within the property of Good Springs.
Thank you. I'm just a little paranoid considering I had an eventful day.
Well, it's all right. You're always welcome in here in Good Springs.
Thank you. At this moment here, locking back down, I'm going to start to go back to basically nest. At this moment here, however, I am unlocking the back door of the truck, and I'm going to start to nest as the other thing.
Okay, so in the cover of night, roll me a fortitude save.
Okay.
I will say for you, because you've done it very frequently, it just depends on how stressed the circumstance is. Because you are very calm, it is night, and there is no real stress that is elating you, the DC is 10.
Okay. 14.
Okay. You are able to transform without agonizing pain or effect or any negatives.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to coil up right in the fucking nest of my truck.
All right. You coil up in the nest of your truck and you sleep out on the outskirts. They allowed you to park up by the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Where you notice one thing in particular just before you go to bed. One of the gravestones has a very interesting name marked on it, and it looks freshly dug. It's kind of odd seeing graves pre-dug like that, but you shrug. It's probably just how they do things around here. But it's the name on the grave which is really confusing you. It's just an odd name.
Okay, what's the name?
Courier. Now, granted, you're a courier yourself, but there's dozens of couriers around here, so that name really doesn't narrow it down. In fact, you know maybe about 26 different traders with the Mojave Trading Post.
Mm-hmm.
So in total, you probably know about 30 couriers in addition to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think they don't like me. Granted, not many folks like me. Makes sense.
Nonetheless, you close your eyes in the security of your little nest and rest up. That is where we will stop with your character.
Uh-huh.
Going on down to Mr. Quinito.
It's Corincho, but
Corincho. I will call you cornflake flour tortilla if I want. No.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Let me change ambience here and we'll get to you.
Okay.
That moment when we get called cornflake tortilla. Oh my god.
Going back down to below in the depths of Vault 44. We will say this happened about a few hours later. Due to floor 5 being finally revamped and having the connections brought back, the cryotubes are defrosting at a much faster rate than anticipated. I'm going to go ahead and call you by your character name here. Jane, you feel breath for the first time in what feels like years as you stumble out of the cryotube that you were placed into. You are completely naked with no supplies, and you are now looking down on your knees at a cold metal floor. And you are freezing.
Jane will kind of stand up and be like, looking around. I think she grew up in a lab, if it's the background I have imagined for her. So that's probably the first time she is
Yeah,
waking
you're
up and looking around and not
yeah,
seeing anyone. So she's like,
your memory is a little bit hazy.
yeah, she's shaking a little bit, and I think the first thing she would do would be shouting and be like, "Hello, anyone here?"
You hear your voice echo throughout the cold, still very bright, although this facility does appear to have power, halls of Vault 44.
Just get out of the place, kind of rubbing her arms as
As
she
you
walks.
walk down toward the entryway to the cryo kind of chamber, you see that someone has laid out clothes, civilian clothes, alongside of a table.
Yeah, she'll put on the clothes, but inspecting it before she wears it. And she would look and say, "Okay." Would be looking at the ceiling, hoping that there would probably be cameras watching her. And she'd be like, I'm awake now. Any
You
tests?"
do indeed see a camera in the corner. However, the red light indicating that the camera is recording is off.
Jane will kind of look at that, narrow her eyes, look around, see if there are any other people around.
There is no one else in this vault but you.
Does she know about her powers, or at least a little bit of them?
You were a unique subject. They were very proud of the FEV that they had placed inside you. You do have a familiar idea. Your memories are slowly coming back to you. You don't really remember why you were there or what specifically you were doing, but you remember you were there to supposedly be a test subject for new experiments on how to battle human skin cancer. You were taking a next step into the human evolution, and you were going to help cure the way for this disease.
Jane kind of nods to herself, look back to the camera and say, well, better do it while they are not looking at. And she will point her index finger to the camera and boop, take it away out, with her
So you're
mind.
going to pull it. Okay, so go ahead and roll me a focus check.
Yes.
This will be
How do I
1d20.
do it?
This will be 1d20 plus your expertise.
Where do I roll it?
Roll it in Roll20.
Okay.
I apologize, I haven't gotten a dice roller out here yet.
Okay, so 1d20 plus what?
I can roll for you. Your expertise. What's your expertise?
My expertise. Fastest fortitude. In which page it is?
Skills. It should be
Expertise magic. 10.
10? Okay. You are not under any kind of stress, so this is an easy focus roll. You succeed in pulling the camera straight off of its latch.
Should I? And we start to walk. Heading towards the door to see what she can find.
You head towards the door, and you see that the door is actually left open, and that there appears to be some activity of someone doing something here. As you move down the second left hallway, you can see that it's been blocked off by some sort of rubble collapse. To the right hallway, you can see a terminal. And as you access it, you can see a message left by someone. Creed's very message sent before.
The message was saying something about protecting the people.
No, that wasn't. That was not. That was a different one. Basically, this one is that you've been set. basically there was something that went wrong. You've been let loose early, or you've been in there too long, and that someone by the name of Creed. What's your character's name?
Isaac Wilson.
Someone by the name of Isaac
Dr. Isaac
Wilson
Wilson.
has sped up your thawing process and freed you, but it appears that something went wrong in the vault.
Okay. She will check the dates of the messages, like how much time have I lost?
The date of his particular message was 8 hours ago. However, the date of the other messages that you find in the computer are that of 100 years ago.
Okay, Jamie will kind of shake and start to panicate a little bit and look around, and you say that there was a door with something blocking it, right?
Well, the left hallway, like the roof has caved in, so that whole hallway is blocked off.
Okay, so it's not something she can pull. So she will try to blend herself into the shadows and move forward.
Well, interestingly enough, there is still power to the station, and there are some very bright LED lights. There's not much actual shadow in this particular area.
Hmm. Okay, which is also good because my character is kind of afraid of the dark. So, okay, she would just kind of start to run like a crazy person without nothing else to do. She would just kind of run, trying to find a way out, being a little bit desperate.
Yep. You can see you kind of have trouble finding your way through this place. Your memory is very hazy. And you see that as you get to the fork in the branch, there's another right and left fork where you can either go left or right. The right hallway, all of a sudden the lights go out, but the left hallway, the lights are still on.
Okay, she will go to the bright one.
You go to the left and you find a stairwell leading up to the vault entrance.
Okay, she runs, but she kind of stops before leaving and look behind her with a little bit of curiosity and wondering what could be on that dark place. I think she will have a second thought just for a moment and just kind of take a peek on the dark hall.
You think, roll me a perception check. What is your perception? I'll roll it for you.
Perception is 7.
You don't see anything in the darkness.
Okay, she just cool, nice, and runs outside.
You run outside. The sun is almost blinding, even though you were in a bright room. And you look out, and you're up on top of this kind of weird cliff face. And you can look down off to your right. You can see like this big water tower up off to your right where there's a truck parked up there and what appears to be some sort of gravesite. And you can see this little ghost town down in the bottom of the kind of valley area. And then you look across the entire land, and it's just desert and wasteland for miles as far as you can see.
She will fall down to her knees for a moment and looking at the nothingness in front of her and be like, shit. Okay. Focus. Truck people. Are they good people? I don't know. And she will kind of try to sneak towards this truck that she saw nearby.
Okay, you roll me, I'll roll your stealth. There aren't any, it's broad daylight, so if you want, you can roll a perception again to see if you can find some shadows. But it will be
Okay.
very hard to keep your invisibility going. In other words, it's going to fluctuate. So basically, if you've ever played the old Assassin's Creed games or Thief games, whenever you're in the light, your power's not working. Whenever you're in the shower, shadow, you can roll a stealth, and that's how it's going to go. So basically, depending upon how the shadows are set up and how well your perception check is, you may or may not find shadows to go in. Or if you do, you may have to kind of hop and do like a on-off thing, if you will.
I think she before she approached that place, then, I think she would try to pick up something that she can use as a cloak,
Okay.
or a cape or something.
There was a kind of a little there was a cloak that you could put over yourself that was in the civilian clothes. So you have
Okay,
one that
so
you can put on over. You also
kind
find
of
in
put it
the
under the roof.
you also find in
Hmm.
the civilian clothes there's this weird little small thing that looks like almost like a PDA, but not quite.
A PD what?
PDA like a little digital display thing.
Ah, okay. Should have a look at that and be like, maybe wear it. Just why not?
Yeah, it can go around your wrist.
Just put it. Look at this screen. Kind of tap it.
It's basically, for all intents and purposes, out of character. It is a half-assed Pip-Boy. You can actually get these in Fallout 3. Basically, it will take text and even bring up maps and whatnot, but it cannot play audio tapes, it cannot connect into computers, and it cannot do some other things that it does, but it can at least do the basics.
Okay. And then she will put the cloak up, because this is kind of her desperate move.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have an idea? How thick is the cloak?
It's a cloak. It's a travel cloak. It's got a hood and cover back.
Okay, that might be enough. And yeah, she will try to sneakily approach the truck to see if she can see
Right, but you're not
who's
using
driving
invisibility.
it. I mean, if there is a possibility of doing that, she will try. If there is not, she will just
Okay, so
try
here's
to
what you're
go
gonna
through
do.
the bushes.
You're gonna roll me a perception check to see if you can find one, and then you'll roll me stealth. So I'll go ahead and roll
Okay.
perception for you.
Perception 7.
Yep, 22. You can actually see a line that takes you to the truck. So
Okay.
what we're going to do here, just because for fairness, you are stealthed. You are invisible to sight. However, you are not invisible to other senses. But you will get a circumstance bonus of 5 to your stealth. So what is your stealth?
10.
Okay, so you get plus 15. Actually, you're getting a plus 10, so that's 20. 25. Would Bunny please roll me a perception?
Okay. One more.
Wow. Bunny,
Yes.
you can hear footsteps coming towards your truck.
At this moment here, remember how last night I left the fucking back door open?
Yeah, it's early morning, so there are some rays of sunlight, but it's still kind of dark.
Mm-hmm. Going to get up and stick my big ass red fucking flaming head out of the back of the truck.
It's currently not flamed due to the fact that you are not stressed or under attack, but
Right. Big ass red fucking spiked up head, yes.
so the way that Gabriella is approaching the truck, she doesn't. I mean, why did I say Gabriella? Jane is not approaching the.
Jane.
Jane is approaching the truck. She does not see you, and you do not see anyone, but you can hear footsteps coming towards your truck, but you don't see anything. Bunny.
Not do I smell anything?
Roll me. Let's see. That was Yeah, you do. You can smell someone. You can't really pinpoint them, but you can smell someone. Someone's here.
Alright. At this moment here, going to come out a little bit more. It's almost like looking at a lizard's molting its goddamn skin as I'm coming out of the fucking back of the truck.
Mm-hmm. Gabriella, you're a bit startled at what you see when you come around the rock face. There is a massive, what the best way to describe it, a massive lizard-like thing, or dragon or something that is coming out of the back of this truck. It is startling.
Jane will say, nope. she would
So you
Turn
go
it out.
you just go the other way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, let's go to the town. I don't like lizard people, okay?
Okay. So
Don't like, Queen of England.
so here's what's
And
gonna happen.
Bucks.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Bunny, you hear the
Yes.
footsteps kind of start to fade away, as does the smell.
Okay. At this moment here, he inhales, exhales out smoke, then starts to just go back into the truck. Before Nick just basically closes and this time locks the back of the truck. He's not going back to sleep. He is waiting, however.
All right.
Intelligent in this form, I don't use the little human lever. There's a button on the side of the wall that I use.
Mm-hmm. So we'll do that. Jane, as you leave that very scary thing in the truck, you go down into Goodsprings and you can see what looks like an old saloon. And you can see a man on a rocking chair smoking a cigar, and he appears to be the only person out at the moment.
Okay, he looks human, right?
Oh, he's human, yeah.
Okay.
Looks like an old man, maybe in his, late 40s, mid 50s.
So Jane would slowly approach him and she would step like 15 meters away from him and kind of gently touch him on the shoulder with telekinesis just to kind of draw his attention. Like on that Bram Stoker Dracula on that scene that Jonathan is shaving. So pretty much like that.
Right, so I'll go ahead and have you make another focus check. I already know your role here. So this will be a precise action, so the DC will be 14. You just barely, or 13. Yeah, well, what's the? Let me look at the easy difficulty. Hold on. 1, 2, so 10, 11, 12. Okay, so the DC is 12, so that barely does it. You kind of you flick it forward and you give him a little tap on the shoulder, and he kind of looks, and you drop invisibility.
Yes. She would be like with her arms crossed and the cloak kind of covering her arms and
So it looks like you're coming into the town. I got you.
Exactly.
All right, so he looks up and he kind of gives a wave. Oh. Well, welcome to the town of Goodsprings, stranger.
Jane kind of removes her hood, look to him, say, "Oh, hello.
Hey, how's it going? Name's Easy Pete. What's yours?"
Jane, I saw a thing outside, and what happened to the city? Everything's so strange. Where are we?
Oh, we got another one. I see. You must be one of those vault dwellers. You might want to go talk. You might want to go talk on over to Doc Mitchell. He'll get you kind of the lay of the land and get you patched up if you need it.
Will he give me any food?
Yeah, we got food here. We're always welcome. There's a garden right over there. Try not to take too much, please. We got to keep our resources, Got to watch what we do.
What happened? What town is this?
This is the town of Goodsprings. Nice little ghost town we
Never
got
heard
here.
about it.
Well, way back in the day of the Mojave, we used to be a ghost town, or a mining town, but now we're just a little ghost town.
What happened to Las Vegas?
Oh, Vegas? The Vegas Strip is still up. Took some damage when the bombs fell, but it's still got power. Still running. A lot of rich folk down there.
Bombs. Okay, I'll go talk with this doc. I'll be right back, I imagine. Should kind of start to walk towards towards the doctor place, and a little bit shyly, and head's kind of down, but looking with the corner of her eyes to everything and everyone. And
It's at this point that you see something that is a little bit familiar because even when you went down into the vault, you were aware of the technology of the world, and they did have these things called Securitrons, basically robots that go around on a little uniwheel, and they've got arms and boxes and whatnot. They're kind of big boxy robots that have a little digital screen on the front of them displaying their caricature, so to speak, or their emote. And you see a bot come by and it's like, "Well, howdy, stranger. Welcome to the town of Goodsprings."
hello, I'm Jane. I'm looking for the doctor.
Oh yeah, Doc Mitchell? He's just up the road there. Can't miss it. He's the big house on the hill.
Right. Wait, the same hill that there's the truck?
No, this is a different hill. You're in the town at this point. You're not out on
Okay.
the cropping.
Okay, so should just walk towards the place.
Have a good one.
Yeah, trying to. Moving towards the place.
You move towards Doc Mitchell's house, and it appears to be early morning, and you can see the man out on his porch just starting to light a pipe. He is
Okay.
he is a balding man that looks like he's in his late 30s, maybe mid 40s.
Jane nods and say, "Oh, good morning. Everything okay?"
He looks down and he says, "Well, I'll be darned, another one. One of the vault dwellers."
It's not. Never mind. I'm Jane. That man at the entrance say that you could give me something to eat.
Yeah, come on in. I'm actually just cooking up breakfast. My name's Doc Mitchell. Pleasure to meet you.
Jane. She just kind of nods to him, still
Yeah.
with her arms crossed under the hood.
I was actually busy patching up this other fella, and I'm getting breakfast for him too, but he's asleep at the moment. So you're welcome to help yourself. Hope you don't mind. Hope you don't mind rad scorpion eggs.
Reds, but Scorpio is such a tiny thing. How do you even eat its eggs?
He hands you a plate with some kind of meat and eggs on them, and well, to answer your question, the eggs look pretty normal size.
Okay. She looks at that. Do you have I don't know, some normal food like
Well, they're just.
cow
I mean,
meat?
the meat looks like beef, and then the eggs look like there's nothing out of the ordinary about what he hands you. You just can't identify it.
Ah, okay, all right. So she just kind of smile and gladly eat it. And while she's doing that, she'll just look to the doctor and say, "So, do you know what happened to the vaults?"
Well, from the sounds of it, from what that fellow over there told me, and he points on over to a bed, and you can see an older gentleman kind of sleeping. From what that fellow told me, he actually got out of the vault there, and he doesn't remember a whole lot about what happened, but seems like your vault that you were in was opened up or breached by something, and well, it's you guys are you. From what he told me, some of you were cryo frozen in that and waiting, unthaw, and apparently, well, due to whatever mishaps happened, the vault door opened and your cryo departure never took place until now. As for the land you see around you, well, you've missed quite a bit. The bombs fell. They finally did it.
I see. So does it mean that I can go whenever I want?
Well, no one's holding you here. I mean, you got to be careful where you go. It's kind of a wasteland survival, if you know what I mean. But I can teach you the ropes and tell you some things to be careful of.
Okay, she kind of smiles a little bit more excited. I don't even remember when was the last time I saw the sun. I'm kind of pale, you can tell. Anyway, I'm trying to understand what I should do now. So maybe Are there any? She would kind of smile a little bit more brightly. Are there any work for me? Because, like, to her, that
Yeah,
live up
he
in a lab,
he
that's
nods and he says, "Yeah, I imagine we can find some work for you. I know that Sunny Smiles was definitely looking for someone to help her out with a little gecko problem. Yeah, we might be able to find some work around here for you."
gecko. Gecko, you mean like creatures?
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot of creatures of the wasteland have mutated due to a lot of the fallout. It's about time I give you a little rundown of what's happened. And as he goes
uh,
in and you enjoy your breakfast, he starts to give you a little rundown of what has happened in the Fallout world. And I will give that to you out of character because we will go ahead and pause that for your story and move on to the next person.
okay,
Mr.
okay.
Ranger Knight.
Oh, there I am.
What is
I
your
double muted
character's
myself.
what is your character's name and where is he starting off?
My character's name is Mortimer Knight, and he's probably starting off, probably south of Good Springs, probably in Prim, just coming from there
Well, from the
after
sounds
dealing with some
well,
things outside.
yeah,
Yeah.
from the sounds of it, he's got the cops after him. What did he do? All right.
Well, he doesn't. He hadn't done anything to get the cops after him. He was probably dealing with some issues they had out there, helping them.
I think he didn't got it.
So, well, I heard the sirens in the background. So go ahead and tell me
Oh,
again where precisely you're starting.
I didn't even notice because that's like all the time around here. What's that?
Go ahead and tell me precisely where you're starting.
Prim, just on the like coming out of Prim to the north.
All right, you're kind of coming out of Prim, heading back to where you stay. Now, where do you stay on the Mojave Wasteland?
He doesn't necessarily have a place he's settled down. He just kind of goes from town to town,
All right.
taking odd jobs and wandering.
All right, so you kind of go around a little bit and you find a nice little place to camp. Morning is approaching, so you go and have yourself some breakfast, whatever it is you decide to eat. And it's at this point you're not too far out, but you can look down in the valley. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. Perception. Rolled an 18.
Okay, that's very good. You can see a little bit of movement down the hill where you're camped out. It looks like it's kind of a familiar movement. You can see an NCR trooper battalion kind of doing a patrol.
All right. Well, I trust them that they have things handled, but I'll keep a watch in that direction.
You keep a watchful eye down, and they kind of just keep on and patrol on past you. And then they get into a little bit of an encounter with a couple fire ants, but you've seen them before. The NCR soldiers quickly dispatch them.
All right.
You get a sneaking suspicion that you are being watched.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take my fire and kind of kick some dirt on that, and I'll do a little bit of a like check on the surrounding area, like the hillside above me and everything. Just looking up there to see if I can spot anything, and before I.
You don't seem to see anything, but that feeling doesn't go away. It's a very calm day, however. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, so to speak, as beautiful as you can get in the Mojave Wasteland.
Okay, so it's daytime.
Just now, yeah, it's morning is now going into mid-morning.
All right. Well, before the sun starts rising too high, I'll pack up my gear, grab my gear, and I'll start heading back north along the route that I'm traveling.
You do so. And as you're traveling
Freely.
along the route, um, you see what appears to be a group of caravan traders coming down the path directly in front of you. One of them looks up and he says, "Ah!" He points his gun straight at you. "Back away! Get away!"
I'll raise my hands. Calm, friend. I'm not what you think, and I'm not your enemy.
He slowly lowers his gun, and this caravan trader and the other two caravan traders look like they've just had strokes. He's looking at you like,
I can.
"Ah, what did you say?"
I don't wish violence. I can tell by the look on your face that you haven't met many of my kind.
He's just like so dumb. He's so dumbfounded, he just drops the gun.
You've dropped something.
Oh.
And I still have my hands in the air.
He picks it up and he kind of looks at you warily, but they do holster their weapons. He's like, are you
If
one
I
of those?
can.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Wait. You one of those guys from Jacobstown?
No, not necessarily, though I have been to Jacobstown.
He kind of one of the caravan raiders. There's two men and a woman. The woman kind of looks up, and she says, we're sorry about that. We don't exactly do a whole lot of trade with them. We only just recently came up in these parts. Sorry."
That's fine. Well, allow me to introduce myself. Ranger Knight.
I'm Carrie. This is Bill. That's Billy. Yeah, Bill and Billy. That's how we distinguish them. They're both named Billy. We had to find some way to distinguish these two guys.
Well, where are you folks headed to?
We were hoping to get down and do some trading at the strip, maybe over by the Gunrunners. We got some caps and some supplies we got back from the north here, and we're hoping to get a good round in.
You're heading to the strip.
Yeah.
Well, why aren't you heading north?
They kind of look. Annie kind of thinks for a moment, and she pulls out the map. And they look at it.
So the way it goes is the same road headed south. You have the strip,
Mhm.
and then you go down, and then there's Good Springs, and then you
Yep.
go down, and then there's Prim.
Yep, they were turned around, and you just prevented them from going the wrong way. And they said, "Well, maybe we'll travel with you then. Maybe you could give us a little
Right.
escort, at least mostly, to the strip." Like I said, we're not from around here. We just came out, you know.
That's fine. Headed to Good Springs as my next stop. You'll want to be careful in this area. There have been. I heard there was trouble at the NCR prison up the road, correctional facility. A group of prisoners is, well, broken out, and they're causing trouble along the road here.
So I see.
So
Well,
I will travel with you just for
I mean,
safety.
we can pay you in caps if you want.
That would be acceptable, but I'll take it upon delivery.
Okay, they all nod, and they're still kind of wary of you, but they travel with you. And they want to go to the strip, so where will you be leaving them as you guys travel?
Well, I'm gonna head north to Good Springs, and then from there, I'll look at restocking any supplies I need, and then if they want to, I will take them up through the junction quarry to past the junction quarry to the strip.
Okay. So you do arrive in Good Springs, and a few things catch your eye because you've been here before. One is that Doc Mitchell is usually always out smoking his customary pipe in this morning, but he's not this morning. There is also a
Mhm.
travel truck, or what appears to be just an old junker truck, parked up on top of the hill where you know the Goodsprings graveyard to be, near the water tower. And you've seen the truck before. You've even seen the driver occasionally before, although you've never met or talked with them. But that appears to be one of the trading vehicles, one of the few vehicles that is still in operation. There are some.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Probably not much out this way, but probably back at the hub. I've seen vehicles.
Yep, down at the strip there's more, but out here it's kind of a little bit rare.
I'll inform the traders that they can stock up at the general store, and if they're thirsty, the Prospector Saloon is a good place to go.
Right.
It's
Hey,
probably the only place to go.
the girl Annie hands you 20 bottle caps, and she says, "Hey, thank you very much. We can probably handle it from here. This looks like a decent
Okay.
place to at least stock up and get some directions. Thank you."
Well, if you want to get to the strip then, and you're fine without me, you just head north from here, up past the quarry. Um, from there, you should be able to see the lights of the strip, at least at night. Um, just keep heading north along this road.
Of course. Again, thank you.
I'm here to serve.
She kind of nods, and they start going on over to the general store.
I'll head myself into the saloon.
You head into the saloon, and you can see there's a couple patrons that immediately are like, "Oh my God, a fucking super mutant!" But Sunny smiles, and a few of the other local patrons just kind of look up at you and just give you a nod. And Sunny kind of goes, "Well, howdy there, Ranger. How's it going today?"
It's good, Sonny. I've just brought some traders into town. If you could just I guess give them a hand with any directions or questions they need. They seem new around the area.
"Oh, of course, absolutely. We're always looking to have a new trade coming here in Goodsprings."
Yes. So is there any new information, any news from the Mojave?
Well, Mojave News Radio popped up a little while back saying that there were some new vaults discovered out here. God knows how many freaking of those things that Vault Tech pushed out here.
Huh, another one. Where
Yeah.
would that one be?
Well, according to Doc Mitchell, he found a few survivors of the vault coming out just over there across the ridge. It was actually hidden in the mountain over there.
Hmm.
Couldn't tell what the name of the vault was since the door was broken into, but found some survivors, and Doc Mitchell's currently talking to one of them, and one of them was injured, and he's being taken care of.
Interesting. Well, suppose I'll head to the general store and possibly talk to the doc afterwards. You have yourself a good day. And I'll just kind of tip my, just, kind of like tap my forehead and like say hi to the customers and then walk
Yeah.
out.
Bunnies, you can see from where you are over in the saloon, you can
Mhm.
see a fucking super mutant chatting, which is one of the rarest sights to ever see in the wasteland.
Fair enough.
And
But
she's-
also on top of this, more vault dwellers. I'm assuming that they're not being quiet about this, right?
No, they're talking about like when a vault opens up and they find like people from the vault going out, everyone's usually always excited.
It's a small town.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
At
to
this moment here,
Mhm.
Nick's just going to scarf down the rest of his breakfast. And out of that 50 cap pay that I did have recently, I'm going to pay up 10.
Okay, that's pretty much about what the breakfast was. So you pay 10
Yep.
caps.
Yep. And I'm just waiting until the super mutant starts to move.
He looks like he's done talking to Sunny, and it looks like him and Sunny have like, at least a decent, some of the patrons in the bar you noticed were kind of scared of him, but Sunny was just like, "Duh, it's just Ranger." So he kind of starts to leave out the bar, and Ranger, You just barely managed
We have
to
a
kind
rapport,
of
me and Sonny.
you just barely managed to squeeze out the door.
So that's when Nick gets up to follow Ranger.
Nick, are you being stealthy or
Hello?
tracky about it?
No, I'm not being stealthy about it.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. Ranger, as you're walking out to where she told you the vault was, you can see that courier, not the courier from the game, but
There we
a
go.
courier that you
Hold
know.
on.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, Discord shit the bed for a second.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So you kind of squeeze yourself out the door, and that courier that you know, not the courier from the game, but just a courier that you know, the guy who owns that truck you saw,
hmm
you can see him very clearly following you to Vault 44.
I'm not going to Vault 44. I'm going to the general
Well,
store and then to
right. Okay, that's
Doc.
fine. You can clearly tell he is following you. Like he is
You know,
not hiding it at all.
does he follow me into the general store?
He stops outside the general store.
Oh, okay.
More to
Yeah.
just see space until you
Go
actually
in.
go
Huh?
and talk to him.
You go into
I'll
the
just,
general
yeah.
you go into the general store and Manny looks up and he's like, "Oh, well, hi. Hey, Ranger. What can I do for you today?"
Just need to grab a few supplies before I head back out on the road.
Of course, standard travel supplies, got you going here. And he'll go ahead and actually he'll go ahead and take that caps that you just got paid.
Yep, pretty much. That's all I got to me.
So you managed to get some food and supplies and some basic stuff going.
All right. Yep, and then I'll head right back out the door. And where is the?
Nick, he's standing right next towards the outside of the door.
All right, so he walks out the door, kind of stoops to get through it because he is like
He is
9.5 feet tall.
He
He's
is
a big boy.
He a big boy.
Yes.
So yeah, he kind of stoops and comes through the door, and he's got his bag full of supplies, and he's kind of just looking through it, taking inventory, and he stops when he gets out of the door, and he's like, "Do you need something, stranger?"
Not need. More need information. Considering new vault dwellers and I feel like I'm starting to get stalked, I don't feel right. Where are you going after this?
I'm going to talk to the doc about the vault dwellers, and then possibly check out this vault myself before I head further north.
Okay. Well, time to meet up with the doc again. Shit.
All
Is
right.
there something that's other than the fact that you feel as if you're being stalked, is there something that's bothering you, something on your mind?
Last night I had someone around my truck. I couldn't see them, but I know that they were there. I know I'm not fucking crazy.
Your mind is immediately clicking because you are familiar with the Night King or Nightkin, sorry, Ranger. So your mind is already screaming Stealth Boy.
Well, if you want, I could try to take a look into it.
That'd be nice.
But for now, I suppose we should go meet the doc.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just begin walking up to Doc Mitchell's house.
Yep. Nick is following.
All right.
Ugh.
So you can actually see Doc Mitchell on his porch smoking his pipe, and he is talking to a woman.
Okay, just one moment. Let me just go back to my PC.
And as you're approaching them, you can hear Doc Mitchell saying some things to her. And so when the bombs fell, a lot of the animals that were really, really small aren't so small anymore. A lot of areas of the land are, now radiated, and you want to stay away from them. Mostly the bigger factions, or at least military runners around here, is the Strip, which has the Securitrons. There's Caesar's Legion, a bunch of crazy fanaticals, and the NCR, one of the only military forces left in the world at the moment.
Okay, that will explain why the eggs of the scorpions are so big.
Well, the scorpions increased in size, so their eggs increased in size.
All right, she just kind of nods. Um, Jane's appearance is on the character art video, just so you know. And she would be kind of looking to the doctor and being like, okay, so I was looking for a job or something just to kind of
Indeed.
get to know what it is to do in this world.
Yeah, we'll get you set up one with Sunny Smiles. We'll get you maybe some see what she can do for you, and we'll get you going as soon as we can here. Actually, we can go talk to her pretty soon here. And Doc kind of looks over and sees you two approaching. And Gabriella, you see you can see just an ordinary looking fellow with dreadlocks coming up, but you also see what you assume is a man who stands what about 7 feet tall?
He's
About
9 feet tall.
nine and a half feet tall, and
Nine and a
like
half feet tall, and he's a big ass super mutant.
he got
Um,
muscles.
and he's walking towards you, and you see Doc Mitchell go, and he waves. He says, "Hey, Ranger," and then he looks over,
Jane would be.
and then he looks over at your character, Bunny, and he's like, "Hello, good to see you two again."
Sup, Doc?
Jane would be with her eyes wide open and being like, hi.
And he'll kind of like chuckle at the way the look on her face and see like, well, you must be one of the vault dwellers.
And that is actually very obvious because she is wearing a Vault 44 uniform.
Damn, she hasn't even gotten out of her uniform yet. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Well, priorities.
Fair. Fair enough.
Food? Yeah, priorities.
Allow me to introduce myself, Mortimer Knight, former ranger.
Name's Nick. I'm a courier.
Jane Shadowclaw, at least that was the name they gave me.
That doesn't
Back in
actually
the-
sound, that name is actually not that far off because this is the Mojave and it used to be one of the primary points where all of the tribes merged into Caesar's Legion. So a person with that last name is actually really not that uncommon around here.
It's, don't worry, take your time getting used to it.
This is a month later after I got out of that vault, so.
Oh, P.S. By the way, just for aide's sake, you guys can right click on your names and change your nicknames to your character names just so I've got everyone's name down when I start putting the rumors out.
Yeah, alright, one moment. I'll fucking do that.
So yeah, Jane, you are looking at a just average looking Joe guy and a giant freaking super mutant.
Green skin and pretty much.
She would be looking at that, but very curious, and she will actually kind of poke the mutant's arm. Just like, what is this? It's so green.
I'll just like lay out my hand and allow this. All right, well, get a good look.
She's looking at the other guy, and she'll kind of go back to sit down and looking down with her arms crossed. I mean, like, what are you guys doing, or what do you guys do for a living here?
For me, I basically take cargo from Good Springs over towards other towns to get paid. That's what I do.
Oh. So you actually earn money just transporting things from one place to another?
Mm-hmm. That's the point of my truck.
That sounds easy. I
Mm,
could work with that.
it sounds easy. It's not easy.
Jane, from what you can determine, if mantises and scorpions are now twice the size that they normally were back in the day, you can imagine that travel here in the wasteland might be a bit dangerous.
Mm-hmm. He gestures to the still pulsing red part of his face that looks like third-degree burns. I didn't get this because it was easy. Nope.
Oh, all right. Huh. Okay. Maybe I could try to get one of these jobs. Sounds interesting. I mean, I never went outside way too much. There are a few things that I would like to do. Like, I know that people like to dance, you know, and cats. I want to see cats as well. They seem so nice in pictures. But
Cats.
do you have things like that around?
Yeah, dogs and cats still exist.
Dogs and cats still exist. They're just hard to find.
Oh, I see.
Ugh.
A word of advice. Don't be too easy around those who look like myself. You may notice that others are occasionally afraid of me if they do not know me. They have good reason to be.
Why is that?
Yep, Doc Mitchell looks over at you, Jane, and he says, well, pretty much everything on the surface of this Earth was affected by the radiation. This includes some of us. What you see before you here is a rare sighting of a. He looks over at Ranger and he says, "What we have here is a very rare sighting of a super mutant that has a pretty decent high intelligence and is very friendly. Some of the other super mutants are a bit more, shall we say, dangerous, but they're no more dangerous than the raiders you'll find out seeking in the wasteland. So really, it's just a matter of, well, you got to trust who you can trust and don't trust who you don't trust, you know?"
I see. How do I know who I can trust?
Well,
I mean,
there is one easy way. There is one easy way you can kind of tell if someone on the wasteland here. He looks on over at Nick and Ranger, and he's like, "Isn't that right, boys? There's always one easy way to tell. If they start shooting at you, they're probably hostile."
Yep.
yes. Yesterday I saw this giant lizard on a truck. I
Oh,
got pretty scared.
Ugh.
oh, that's just my security system. That's how I deter people from trying to fuck up my truck.
Roll me a deception.
Lizard in your truck.
Yeah, roll me a
Who
deception.
would
Yeah,
roll?
roll me a deception. Would both Jane and Ranger roll me insight?
Where are you guys at?
Okay, Jane's
good,
insight
Springs.
is 3,
Hmm.
and her deception is 5.
I got an 18 insight.
Yeah, I don't have a.
Where do I roll? Ah, yeah, roll 20.
And I rolled 20.
So the insight into my 5. On the insight, I got 14,
Oh, 14. Sorry.
and on the
Okay.
sorry, 14 was on the deception. Insight.
It's okay. No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Okay.
So Mortimer, Defender, I believe, wins on skill checks. So you since it was a tie, let's do this. Nick kind of looks at you and gives you that story, and Mortimer, you're kind of like, but you can't really tell whether he's lying or not. It's like, I don't know.
Suppose it's true.
Yeah, it's just like
It sounds ridiculous, but I'll suppose it's true. I've seen wilder things in the wasteland.
However, Jane, you know he's completely bullshitting.
Okay, Jane will just kind of smirk and say, "We all have our secrets, I think. Secret things to protect ourselves, I think."
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So tell me, where were you guys heading? I don't know. I want to see the world. And
Slow down there.
Yeah, no. No.
I
Well,
appreciate
well,
your enthusiasm.
how about,
but Mojave is a dangerous place.
Doc Mitchell kind of looks up at you guys and he's like, you know what? Why don't you guys do me a little bit of a favor here? Why don't you
Okay.
and Nick? Why don't you and Nick sit down and give her a rundown of the Mojave Wasteland, things to look out for, places to go, people to watch out for. I need to go to the entrance to the town here and finish up a run with one of the couriers I was talking about. If my friend in there in the bed wakes up, just give him a little rundown as well. He's also another vault survivor. But I need to,
Um,
I need to go out to the entryway because Ranger, your friend might be showing up very soon, and I don't want her to scare some of the traders that have just come in because they were. Doc looks at you and he's like, I imagine the traders were a little bit cold to warm up to you, but knowing her, they may want to. Yeah, he kind of just looks,
Agreed. I'll come with you.
nods. He goes out to the edge, and as you'll all actually walk out. As you're walking, you can talk, but you get out to the front gate, and not so. Go ahead and change your name to your character.
Yep. Oh, hang on.
And Jackie and to me may enter if they wish. I'll get you guys with your solos as soon as I can here, but I want to finish up this scene. Um, so,
I mean, it'd be a bit. Oh,
well, I need to get something going because Jackie, there's a lot of stuff happening around where you are right now. So,
yeah.
everything's happening apparently with him.
yeah, well,
Everything is happening, and as a matter of fact, it's probably like unnoticeably, but in the background of every one of your stories, just
no, it is.
distant
It is.
noises.
It's gonna pop up on
Distant
the.
noises.
It's gonna pop up
Oh,
on the rumors too.
Oh hell! What did you kill? What did you piss off?
What didn't I kill?
Oh crap!
Speaking of killing. So, I guess I'm making my entrance.
Well, yeah. Can you change your name to your nickname to your?
Oh, yeah. Discord, right.
Yeah.
Change nickname.
So
Oh my god.
It's a long one.
No, it's just I can't spell worth a damn because I'm also kind of tired. But that's okay.
Ratters?
Ratters.
Ratters, okay.
Ratters.
Yeah, Ranger, you see your friend Ratters come riding in.
You hear the horn first.
Oh, why does she have to do that?
just puts his hand up to his face.
Jane kinda smiles and go check what's going on outside.
So, Jane, you and Nick, you're all walking up. You're all standing out at the entrance to Good Springs. Jane,
Yep,
you can see a woman riding that same creature, or at least a creature that looks similar to the one you saw last night. Riding
15
it.
foot tall and angry. Just dun, 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 and just stopping like short of those two. Like as it like power skids.
Nick Moore winces at the fact of Jesus Christ is fucking no.
Hey Ranger, gotta wait, Mortimer? Hey, what you doing? I didn't know you'd be in town.
Where did you go? I lost you a week ago.
Ah shit, I saw alright, wildest story. So I was standing there and freaking I swear to God, I think I saw a UFO crash. So me and Prez over down here decided to go after it.
While they talk, Jane will try to pet the giant thing.
As you walk up to it, it looks at you, and it is very, very, very obviously not wanting you to
I
touch it
will
because it
grab her
snarls.
from that. She is not going near that thing. I know how not tame that thing is.
Okay.
You hear a deep guttural.
Question: I have a
You
feeling.
don't want to do that.
I have a feeling the boy is saying, "Get the fuck away from me."
Here's the
Okay.
thing. There is something that needs to happen here. Hold on a sec.
I got a next one noise.
There you go.
Nikolai,
Yep.
it sniffs you, and Ratter, you notice that it's sniffing him.
Huh. You might want to take a few steps back. The last time I saw him sniffing something, it immediately followed with him biting it.
Your Roosevelt takes a step, kind of a jerk back with his head, and then he kind of does a low guttural growl towards Nikolai. You've seen this before. This is really weird, Raider. This is a territorial display.
What is he saying?
Nikolai, you can easily understand
Oh,
what he's
wait.
saying. No, hold on. I gotta tell Nikolai. Nikolai, you can easily tell that he is saying back off.
At
My
this,
food. My food.
at this moment here?
This is it's kind of a, you know that way that dogs communicate without actually communicating? It's like that.
Yep. In this moment here, Nick is basically tensing up as more of physically displaying, if you attack me, I'm ready for you.
All right.
But he does.
Out of
Riders.
curiosity, what is Roosevelt's intelligence?
His intelligence?
Mhm.
Not, I think it's a -2. Let me check.
That's still more than a lot of super mutants.
Yeah.
he's somewhat cognitive.
He's just a clever boy.
He has to be.
Oh, no, wait. His intelligence is -3.
Is it above a 6?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I
Let me
mean,
check his code.
like, what is the actual score of the intelligence? Is it
Oh,
0?
intelligence
Is it
score, it's
0, 1?
-3.
So it's -3. Okay, that's still good because most super mutants are -4. So okay, I'm gonna make a dice roll here to see what happens.
Nice. If I was gonna be able to drive my own.
Well, the thing is, you can drive. You're welcome to roll an animal handling or anything to if you want him to continue to be aggressive, you can tell him to stop. You can tell him to sit. You can do
I
whatever
do
you want.
have animal empathy, so
You're welcome to do something. Like I'm not stopping you from doing something. I'm just saying
Yeah,
what
no.
he's doing out of reflex.
yeah. So Riders looks down, sees him growling at this random dude, and you see her take out a varmint rifle, and you see her take the butt of it and just smack in the back of his head, like no, smack, 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 like hard, but it barely phases this fucker. He's like, no, bad,
Okay,
bad.
Nikolai, he does a small little snarl at you, but he backs down and goes into a kind of the all four stance and kind of just lowers down and submits to you, Ryder.
That's a good boy. Who's your good murder machine? You're my good murder machine. You're a good president, Theodore Roosevelt. Yes, you are.
Anyway, Ryder, Doc Mitchell comes up to you. Did you manage to secure the package?
Did you order the coding for the sex robot or this? And she hands out the package.
He takes
Jane
the
is
package.
looking at that and being like, what the fuck?
Yes, thank you. No, this is a new computer part.
Is it a sexy robot? Is it for a sex robot?
No, it's for the Securitron over there.
Looks at him, looks at the robot, looks at him.
You see the robot over there, and the robot just kind of drives by you guys on the wheel and just kind of turns, waves, howdy partners, and then just keeps going on.
Mortimer's got one fucking hand on his face, and the other one just waves to the robot.
Howdy, Mortimer.
But yeah, Morty,
You see it keep going.
the aliens, they were crazy. They were little green men, but they got away.
Little green men.
Yeah.
Why does this woman sound fucking crazy?
I'm not crazy, I'm hyper sane.
Don't.
I'm not getting into it. It's just she sounds fucking loony.
Really? Really?
By the way, every single one of your characters, every single character in this campaign has Wacky Wasteland perk.
I know.
What does it mean?
Weird shit
You'll find out.
Okay.
Where did you see these little green men? Because last I saw you, we were near Nipton.
Where was I? I think I was by. Let me think for a second. Survive the 2. Jump over the ravine. I was down by. You know that vault with all the plants in front of it?
Vault, I think that's Vault 22.
That's
Yeah.
north of here. How did you get that far north?
Wind Brahmin. I was chasing a Wind Brahmin, I think.
You were about to say you were riding the Wind Brahmin. Thank you for some semblance of sanity.
Doc Mitchell kind of shakes his head and he's like, well, anyway, I thought you all might want to know. A couple vault dwellers came out of a new vault that we just recently discovered. Apparently a few of the newer ones have been popping up all around the Mojave Wasteland. We didn't realize how many Vault Tech actually put out.
Were they
Yes.
horribly mutated with superpowers?
Not that I know of. I got one in the bed. He looks perfectly human. And then we got Jane right here, and he kind of shows you. He just holds his hand out to Jane, and he's like, and then we got this one right over here.
Nikolai, also, you said you were from a vault before you became a courier.
Yep. I was in the ice box. Moment I got out, I just wanted to get the fuck out.
Indeed. Well, Ryder, thank you for delivering your package. He hands you 20 caps, and he says,
Ugh.
would
Wait,
would
why
you all...
are you
Hold on.
giving him?
He's talking.
Okay.
Yeah, you do see that he hands her bottle caps, and he says, "Thank you. Would you all do me a favor? I need to go tend to the other fellow from the vault. He suffered some injuries after getting out, but would you mind telling Jane here some of the do's and don'ts of the wasteland and kind of give her a little rundown of what's going on? I'd appreciate
Fair
it."
Just one question.
Okay.
Why are you giving him trash as payment?
Ah, the
That-
caps. That's payment here in the wasteland. See, pre-war money doesn't really have much value anymore since there aren't any really banks. So, bottle caps, because there only a certain amount of them, they have a certain value. So, bottle caps are the way things are done around here.
Okay, I thought you would recycle them or something.
Nope.
Use them as currency
Let's
now.
put it this way. It's a resource that is limited and easy to carry.
Mhm. So what you're telling me that Nuka-Cola is gold now?
Well, you don't see much gold around, do you? So
Oh.
bottle caps it is.
It's actually all in the sarsaparilla. That's where all the gold was hidden before the war ended.
Oh yeah,
They never suspected a thing.
before Doc Mitchell leaves, he hands you a Sunset Sarsaparilla and Ryder, and he heads back to his house.
Shiny blue caps, find treasure.
Oh boy, you want to start that quest? I got it going.
Oh,
Okay, Jane's looking at that, but she's kind of amused. Or watching and trying to see where things go.
So she looks at all the vault dwellers. So you ever cut a man's dick off?
What? I never even saw it. What are you talking? Ah, gosh, she kind of just blushed and looked down.
Not now, Ryder.
Mm.
Why? It's a great conversation. You love that story every time I tell
They
it.
need to get
Sure.
at least their bearings.
Yeah.
Uh,
With this woman right here, I think she needs help understanding what the fuck's going on.
She seems like she's taking it in good stride.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Most vault dwellers, they come out and they're, well, panicky. Start throwing or firing guns at whatever the first thing they see.
Well, they're paranoid. Of course they're gonna fire.
Well, most of them end up dead because they shoot the wrong thing.
True.
Are there other vault tellers then? Maybe it could be good to talk to them. I would like to. I never saw the world when it was, at One Piece. Now I'm out, and there is no more world for me to see. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, I was actually in another vault the other day, but everyone looked like they died horribly.
That's
Oh.
most vaults. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they look like they'd been chainsawed or cut with something, Ryder.
I kind of
Yeah.
want to put the pieces together. I don't understand why they were keeping me, and now I don't think I even gonna get my answers.
What did you sign up for with Vault-Tec?
I never signed up to anything. I grew up in a lab.
You were created there.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You were created there.
Makes
I mean, you mean growing up? I think it is, but
Yes,
I don't know if it was a vault.
Test tube. Test tube, baby. Effectively.
I remember something about skin they wanted to do, and that I was some sort of way to this skin thingy, but other than that, I don't really remember much. I'm still trying to put the pieces together.
What
I
if you
remember
were,
they running a lot of tests.
what if you're the world's most hyper-evolved, scientifically engineered mole rat?
Oh dear fucking god. Can we
What?
not? Can we not? Can we fucking not? No!
Not what?
We're
Speaking,
not having it!
speaking of which, I've just rolled on the Wild Wacky Wasteland chart.
Can we fucking
You guys see a bunch of disruptions appear on the ground near you guys, just a little bit outside of the gate where you guys are, and you see about a good dozen mole rats appear out from the ground. Massive looking things, completely naked and blind, or not quite blind, but they can see, but their eyes are just weird looking. And the mole
So-
rats all pop out, and they all look at the group, and they look at the Deathclaw, and then you hear one of them in a very graggly and horrible voice, "Fuck that!" And they all tunnel away.
I'll get you next time, Leviticus. You think you can hide your mole kingdom forever?
They are so cute.
No! They're the reason that I had to make my truck up halfway from scratch. Fuck those things!
They talk. That's
Fuck
You're gonna wind up
No! Fuck those things! Fuck those things on a goddamn pike! Fuck those things in fire beds! No!
Look,
Alright,
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't very educated, but I do know that fuck is not a comma that you can just put everywhere in the sentence. Okay?
Those
Damn.
things with every fiber of my goddamn motherfucking being. No. Fuck those things. Just fucking murder them all. No.
Every time he says fuck, Jane kind of closes her eye and it's like he's slapping her because she's not used to bad language, so she's just like, okay. Please, okay, I understand.
Grant-
You don't like
Granted,
that.
when for Nick, as he's like watching them leave, he's actually shaking as he's talking from rain.
Okay, yeah, I understood. Okay, yeah, okay. You don't like them. They are evil, right? Evil rats. Naked rats.
Giant naked mole rats.
Giant naked nudist rats. That's an interesting combination. And where did they came from? Where did they come from and why? What did they do?
They were Chinese spies.
China still exists?
Well,
That's nice.
yeah, the bombs never hit there. They're just waiting to watch us all die to take over our land.
Really? Maybe we should go to
By-
China then.
By the
if
way,
bombs hit.
Ranger,
Yes.
You can feel your sanity just depleting.
I know. He's just sitting there, like, squeezing the bridge of his nose.
Let's put it in this case here. Nikolai is just basically breathing heavier and heavier as he's shaking more and more, not being okay with any of this.
And Jane is pretty much believing everything they are saying. I mean, like, yes, Chinese, not the bombs that will hit China. Let's go to China then. We'll be safe there. That's pretty much how she's.
Look, I know you just woke up and you want to believe anything is possible. But you will have to learn some things or you will wind up dead.
I don't want to die.
Like, for example, as long as there are people other than you in any area you are in, the chance of death is low, but not zero. That chance of death can happen and rise very quickly.
Well, yes.
So why don't we just go to China then?
China?
Yeah.
No,
She's
we
saying
don't
it was
have a
safe there.
motherfucking plane, bitch. We don't have any sort of fucking vehicle. Look at the situation here.
I'll just put my hand on Nikolai's shoulder.
An entire fucking month to
Nikolai,
get.
Nikolai, you're being raised up off the ground.
Please calm down.
All of you can see just a little bit of red lines starting to appear around Nikolai's face, but they start to fade when you calm down.
This guy, why were you red? Is everything alright?
It was probably red for the same reason that you should think about what you're saying and doing in this wasteland.
Okay. Okay, I'll think. She crosses her arm and looks down.
The
Kind of
first thing is,
kicking a
don't
rock.
let death claws or mole rats.
Sorry.
Most of the Mojave is a very dangerous place, so if you see something that is usually dangerous, you shoot upon sight. One thing you learn, Jane, is that a lot of people don't like talking about the war. It's a touchy subject. However, there are people who do like talking about it and people who don't, but one way or another, you're in America, and a vast majority of the people here in America hated the Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Also,
No.
Nick looks towards Knight. Sorry. Then Jane. Sorry.
Okay.
I-
So,
Off the handle a little bit too easy nowadays.
You see Radder's just like wiping tears out of her eyes. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I don't know what I did, but I'm also sorry.
You're more filling up a naive person's head with bullcrap.
But I've never told a lie once in my life.
Ratters, why don't you take Theodore Roosevelt and, well, find him someplace to rest and then resupply. I'll meet
Ooh.
with you later.
There was that cave full of coyotes. They'll be delicious and make good hats.
Or just
Go, Theodore, go!
yeah.
As
And-
Theodore goes running around by the cave side, you hear a and at this point, just to give someone who's been waiting very patiently, you guys all look off toward the distance and are just kind of chilling, and you guys can see smoke rising. And Ranger, that smoke appears to be coming from the NCR detention facility.
Damn it! What have they done now?
Wait, Ranger, what do you mean?
Well, you see that smoke on the horizon, yes?
Yeah, I do.
That's in the direction of the NCR CR.
My
Okay. That's a problem. Isn't the NCR supposed to, keep the very, very fucked up people in check?
Well, it's mostly just criminals who do their time and sentence, and then I suppose not all of them are absolute psychopaths, but there probably are a few among them.
That's what I mean, keeping the very, very fucked up people in check.
Well, depends. That was their labor camp.
Ah, hell.
What is a labor camp?
A labor camp is where the majority of prisoners are basically utilized for utilitarian means for the rest of the group.
You mean like slave camps?
They put
Slave-
them to work.
Mm-hmm.
They work off their sentence. Sorry,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Slave camps is a dickish way of putting it. What's proper situation is like making furniture or tables, things that other people need. It's usually used to reduce their sentence.
Ah,
Correct
okay.
situation here.
Behaving so they can get out faster. I think I understand that.
Well,
It's what the doctors used to say to me.
are you familiar with the concept of a chain gang?
No.
Old world concept. They used to put prisoners to work building railroads, and
Oh, I see. Yes, I know about working in a hope that you will be released. Yes, I think I understand that.
Mhm.
Isn't that bad?
Not for everybody.
You're working with the hopes of people.
Well,
everybody has a time on their sentence when they go there.
yep.
Ah, okay. So they can keep track of the time. That's good.
It's not slavery like the Legion does.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Slavery is constant, and as long as the oppressors are there, it won't end. Labor camps will end either by you working out your sentence and being released, or other worse means that I'd rather not fucking mention.
Either way, that smoke is coming from the NCR's FCR.
Well, I could get my truck over. I'd have to open up the back for you. We could go over there if you want to.
I want to have a look.
But that's only if you, Knight, want to.
How good are the rest of you with a gun?
I'm not bad with a gun. I'm better with knives, though.
I just want to watch.
This
Okay,
isn't a
so-
spectacle for entertainment.
It's not. This is saving lives. If you're not ready to save lives, but you want to watch, stay in the heckin' truck.
I might be able to help. I can. I'm very sneaky. I can be
All right.
looking at places without being seen.
Okay.
By the way, Splat. I'm rolling.
Yeah.
I'm rolling for the outside combat here. Can you make me 1, 2, 3, 4? You got hit 5 times. Can you make me 5 toughness checks, please?
Who's that?
That's Jackie.
Five toughness checks.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Well, that actually makes sense for what I had planned. So,
Damn.
so just letting you know, Splat, you successfully managed to do that because I rolled for their toughness checks. Most of them failed. but you got seriously hurt during the battle, which will come into the narrative when I get to your part. But you guys are heading toward the smoke, I take it, in the truck?
Yeah,
Well-
I assume so. Unless Ratters wants to ride President Teddy Roosevelt there.
Oh yeah, no, they're riding out there.
Alright. Go ahead and get the ambience here.
Jamer gets a cloak.
Yep, you get it out, and you guys head off toward the facility.
Can I get a second character sheet?
Yep, just a moment.
At this moment here, Nick is just pressing a button in front of the truck. And who's sitting in passenger seat?
I probably can't fit in the cab, so I'm probably hanging off the side or
No,
back.
no. You're able to actually fit inside the freaking truck. Remember when he said, I have to open up the back for you?
No, because my Discord keeps shitting and I lose like 10 seconds of. So I probably lost that somewhere.
Yep. Nick said, I have to open up the back for you.
Mm,
Yep.
cool.
Yep. The truck is not small. It's like a house on wheels, for lack of better terms, in size.
That's good. Fair enough. Turn up this music here. Fucking rocking.
This is what's playing on the radio right now. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm talking to someone. Alright, so... Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Oh, damn. I was jamming.
Yeah, you guys are jamming as you're heading out to the facility.
Mm-hmm. I'm just pressing a button, prepping the fucking truck so I could basically use it as a hammer, possibly. But this is fine.
I'm just sitting out the back of the truck with my minigun just like on my lap.
Now,
Alright, so as you guys are heading to the facility, you do approach one of the facilities, although actually now that you can tell, it wasn't actually the NCR detention facility. It was actually one of the Powder Ganger facilities. It was a little bit hard to tell because of the elevation of the land, but you guys approach, you arrive on your Deathclaw, and you arrive in the truck. And what you see is a pretty gruesome scene. You can see bodies everywhere. Bodies torn apart, bodies cut apart, bodies ripped in half, bodies broken, people with their heads cut off. It almost looks like a Caesar's Legion massacre here. Everyone's just in pieces. The facility is partly destroyed. There's a massive cargo crate that's kind of broken and smashed with a lot of weird powder and sand. And some of the people look like they have burn marks on their skin. There's two Powder Gangers that are impaled up on the barbed wire fence. And there's a massive rip in the fence that looked like something tore out.
I'll get out and I'll begin investigating. Like, see if I can tell, like, start investigating the bodies and see if I can tell what the wounds came from.
alright. Nick looks towards the rest of the group. Okay. You have your Deathclaw, you're fine. Jane, do you want to stay in the truck or no?
Unless you have a gun and a way to use it, I'd stay in the truck.
No. Remember, knives, not guns. Not as good as it anyway. There's one thing that I'm the best at, though. He says getting out.
So, anyone who wishes to investigate the area, roll me perception or investigation, please.
Jane will look up and see, is it day or is it night?
It's broad daylight right now.
Okay, so Jane will be very far away.
Remember, not all of your powers are limited to all that. Remember, the barrier and telekinesis can still be done in daylight. It's just teleport and invisibility that need to be done in direct shadow.
Okay. Okay, she would be kind of sneaking, trying to find a shade on the buildings or maybe the shade of the truck.
Oh, holy shit.
So she can be invisible. Have a look around.
So, yeah, you look around. Yeah, you and Raiders got 2 natural 20s. So let me get out what you guys find here. Hold on.
Meanwhile, if 2 people see God, everyone else can't see shit.
And by the same margin, too.
I know, right?
Fucking terrible.
The fucking
I rolled
odds.
a 1.
I just got out of another Means of Masterminds fight, and we just fought like the biggest boss fight, and holy shit, that took 4 hours of just one boss fight.
That moment when
Okay, double checking. Okay, so that makes even more sense of how you were injured. Excellent. Okay, so going back to the party. Yeah, you got natural 20s, so I need to tell you guys what you find here, because you guys actually find some gear to salvage. Ryder, you and Jane find 2 stim packs that looked like they were going to be used, but weren't. And the stim packs give you regeneration 3 for like a few minutes.
Okay.
You
For
find...
2 or 3 minutes.
You guys all find 50 bottle caps that you can distinguish amongst yourselves. I also have a loot and player inventory channel down there that you guys can put stuff in. I also gave everyone on Roll20 a mysterious note, or sorry, notes, so you guys can take notes in that page as well.
Look, I don't have this Roll20 thing.
Well, you can get it later, but right now don't worry about it. Ryder, you and Jane also find, as you investigate some of these bodies, that some of these guys were seriously just... It looks like someone went to town on them with something of a blade. And a lot of these guys have broken bones. They're ripped in half. Like I said, there's guys impaled on the fences. But you find in one of the cargo crates, there is a unused las pistol. And if anyone is ready to write this down, I can tell you the stats of it.
Laser pistol.
Yes.
Okay.
What
is the stat?
It has the weaknesses. It is. What's it called? Unequipable or removable because it's a gun. Easily removed. It has source. It needs microenergy fusion cells. It also has limited amount of ammunition that can be done per day, depending upon how much you load it. It is damage 5, penetrating 2.
Weakness unequipable, source needs fusion cells, and what else?
It also has limited because it overheats. And
Okay.
And it is damage 5, penetrating 2.
Okay.
Penetrating.
Okay.
It obviously uses the range combat modifier unless you wish to pistol whip someone. That is close combat.
Jesus.
Alright.
That's hilarious.
So, you guys also find that there's a couple just weird blood splatters. And this place looked like it got hit like with explosives. all these people are cut up. Like, this looks like a fucking war zone. There obviously were two sides fighting here when something happened. Eventually, you guys see some movement over by one of the crates. You guys see a guy in a powder ganger uniform, and he's kind of slowly crawling away. It looks like his leg was dislocated at an odd angle.
Can I roll treatment? I don't know what exactly what it is, but kind
Yeah,
of
that's
have a look
basically
at the
medicine.
wounds. Yeah, have a look at the wounds and maybe get a few clues about what might have done it. My treatment is 6.
I'll roll treatment for you. $23. So you come up to him and you try to start treating the guy, like do some medical treatment, but he's like, "Get away from me! Who the hell are you people?" And then he sees the death claw, and I need to roll this here.
Absolutely shits his pants.
Well, he sees a death claw and a super mutant, so he's like, he just screams with this agonizing scream, and he just starts to try and run away, but he's only got one leg.
Gonna start moving over. Just towards him.
He runs on over, and you see that there's a facility that goes down into like this weird basement sublevel of the container, and he's hopping on over towards it, and the basement doors open up, they're kind of like tornado doors or breach doors, and one guy comes out, and he appears to be another powder ganger, and he has a gun. He's just covered in blood, and he's like, "Boris, let me out! Let me out!" He gets yanked back in through the doors, and the doors shut.
Jane will say, "Hey, we are here to help. Don't worry."
Okay, did you just not pay any attention to what I just said?
Right.
No, I did. He's running around, and she's just trying to.
Yeah,
She's
he
trying
already
to
went to a safe spot. His compatriot took him inside the bunker. The bunker
no.
sealed right back up, right?
Well, no. What was happening was the guy was limping towards the bunker. A guy came out of the bunker, covered in blood, said, "Jimmy, help!" Got yanked back into the bunker by something. You guys didn't see anything, and the doors shut. So now his partner is on the ground going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's why Jade is like,
Yeah, but he's.
"We are here
I mean,
to help."
is that really the thing you say once you literally just witnessed something like that?
Yeah,
Jane,
makes sense, but
Jane, get the guy. I'm gonna go head on towards that door.
okay.
So the guy is kind of holding still now, so you can actually patch him up. And his leg looks like someone took it, twisted, and just kept twisting.
Mm-hmm. Going to start heading over towards that bunker door.
You guys head on over towards the door, and you open it up, and you don't see anything. It's just dark down there, but there are stairs that lead down to this weird kind of detention facility, it looks like.
I can see in the dark. What do I see?
You can see that there are some cells. This looks like a little detention area.
What do I hear when we open this door?
You can hear some very loud screaming coming from way down the way.
Oh. Okay. Knight, you got that gun ready?
And I'll just step forward with my Gatling gun raised and just start walking down the hall. And I'll hit the trigger on my my goggles
Yep.
so that I can have dark vision
Nick is actually following right behind him.
or low light, whatever's needed.
Yeah, you guys can definitely see down here in the darkness. It looks like most of these cells are empty. But there is a cell that is occupied. This character who is in there appears to be female of some kind, and I'll let the player describe them in a moment, but this character is covered in blood. And this character looks like they've been through a lot. And to give you a definition, Splat, of how much damage you took, you're basically down to your last bar. You are at a -4 right now to everything.
Alright.
God, question.
Mhm.
How much of that blood is hers? Because I can smell it.
Roll me a perception.
Gotcha.
What'd you get?
18.
It's very difficult to tell. She definitely has some blood, and she definitely appears to be hurt, but it's so mixed. Like, everything's mixed together. There's so much freaking blood. But she does appear to be hurt. Her one of her legs is kind of twisted at an odd angle, and I mean, if you've ever seen someone who's had the shit beat out of them, that's pretty much what she looks like.
Oh, yep. Been there.
Can Jane try to treat her?
Well, the door is locked.
Jane, I
I'll
don't
just walk.
treating anybody in here.
I'll walk forward ahead of everybody else, and I'll walk up to the doorway of the area that she's in.
That's what you actually hear from inside the cell. Just laughing.
Jane,
Alright.
The woman appears to be in some sort of straitjacket.
Jane, don't
Oh,
try and treat her until we know shit is kosher.
Jane just wants
now.
to.
Right now, it's not kosher. Okay?
okay, this person. Okay, but she seems to be trapped here.
P.S. Jane, you are in shadow now, because you're down under the ground and it's completely pitch black.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look around and I'm keeping an eye out for whatever the hell grabbed this guy and brought him in here.
You don't see anything. Go ahead and roll me a perception, but you don't seem to see much. There doesn't appear to be anyone else down here but this girl.
I got an 18.
Said girl, she's turned away from the party right now, and she's like on the ground, ass up, like she's just clearly like downbeaten, even though she's laughing. And then with her one good leg, she's pushing herself and just flips forward, like just basically slams her legs against the wall and is sitting against the wall, looking up at you all, and it becomes very obvious that she's in a straitjacket, even though it's covered in blood now. And she just sees you all and smiles a bit too wide and goes, "The one that did this, they're still here."
I'm assuming that's you.
Oh. Was it? She just breaks down into laughing again.
It's at this point, Ranger, that perhaps the solid steel door between you and this being is a bit more comforting than you realized.
It's probably at this point that everyone hears a crack, like horrible crack from within the cell. Her leg looks right again. That twisted leg bent at an odd angle. It's back in place.
Do you have regeneration?
Yes.
What is your rating?
5. She's healing pretty damn fast right in front of their eyes.
Jane looks and says, this woman doesn't seem like she needs our help, and she's kind of scary. Can we
Just
go back
letting
to
you
the
know,
car?
it's not on the sheet you gave me. Please try and keep all your powers on the sheet, please.
It is, though.
It is not.
Yes.
I don't see it on that sheet. I'm serious. I do not see accelerated
Oh,
healing anywhere.
it's called just a flesh wound.
trying to find it here so I know how. Because.
It's basically like
Oh, I
a little bit.
yeah, I see it. I see it. Every 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So after a few moments, you are back to full health.
Yep. Like in the minute you spent observing her, she's back. She's just good again. And she starts to stand up onto her 2 feet. And she stands up kind of weird. Kind of weird, like she just kind of comes up onto her feet without really using her arms, which are tied up right now. I don't suppose any one of you would mind lending a hand.
It seems like you can lend yourself a hand pretty damn nice.
Not without answering some questions.
Oh, you're funny. You must still have your funny bone. Maybe I can fix. No, I won't fix that. Well, you see, and she just starts wiggling her arms a little bit in the straitjacket.
But it brings out your eyes.
Where's the thing that killed these men?
Oh, somewhere. It went here. It went there. Some were popped. Some were twisted. And some... Oh, those were sawed. Those were my favorites.
Nick looks to Jane. Oh, then Steve's probably Jane isn't there, right?
I did not understand what you're talking about, Jane.
No,
She's around.
She's still there. She hasn't moved.
Yes.
Has she turned invisible or no?
No. No. She's
No,
still
not
there.
yet. Not yet.
Okay, Jane, you said that you're very good at hiding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Move
Yeah.
back, hide, and get out of here. Okay?
There's just a metallic clang as the girl has sprung literally from the back of the cell to the cell bars, and it's just gnawing at one of them, like.
I've got
When they-
my Gatling gun trained on her.
When they start to pay attention to what the girl is doing, Jen will just kind of take some steps backwards and cloak herself with shadows.
Cloak of Shadows
I
is
got my
active.
minigun trained on her.
So
She's,
as she
she-
starts gnawing away, can you roll me a strength check?
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah.
She's probably not getting through that at all.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
she manages to make a little dent.
Well, actually no, because the DC is 20.
Oh, rip.
So you get to the door and she starts chewing on the bars very ineffectively, but nonetheless chewing on them.
Yeah, and then she starts looking around, like, with her eyes, like, past you all, and muffled, just, like, with the bar in between her teeth. She just goes, "Oh, we want to have to see a guard. Chief, would you?"
You're not getting out of that thing until you start answering questions.
at
Oh, but I have been. I've never told a lie in my life.
you're not.
I said you were a liar.
Yeah.
Who are you? And why are you here?
Oh, I lost my name long ago. They call me Jackie here. I think they said it was something to do with some killer from long, long ago.
Jack the Ripper.
Ah, that's the one. Yeah, they said it fit me.
You can
So
see
you're a
now that
murderer.
when you guys look at the thing, you guys can see there is a vault jacket on this woman. What is the vault number again?
74.
74.
Do I know what about anything about Vault 74?
How well is your research on vaults of your character?
I mean, I haven't researched Vault specifically. I've just kind of been around.
This one in particular then would probably not catch your eye because it wasn't one of the main announced vaults that happened when Mojave was discovered.
Fair enough.
In this moment here, Nick tenses his arms and lets his hands fold back, armoring up in the gauntlets.
Now, what did this to these men? And answer me plainly.
Knight, I don't think she has to answer.
Huh.
I want to hear it from her.
Oh,
By
Well,
the way, you guys
let's
can
see.
right click on the Groovy bot and then lower the user volume if you want to.
Yeah.
well, let's see. Which ones in particular? She says, just kind of smiling through the nod bar as she slowly lowers herself, pretty nimbly. She, despite how twitchy she looks, she's moving very gracefully right now. It's a bit terrifying.
I'll just point to the nearest ones.
Oh, those? Oh, well, you see, they had me in the straitjacket, and they thought that would be the time to, what do they call it? Roughhousing? Yeah. Happened a lot before. Her smile fades from it. But I can defend myself now. And I did.
Killed them.
Yeah. Isn't it great? There's something sublime about the life leaving the body.
What killed them?
Oh, well, silly, I just said it. I defended myself.
How did you defend yourself in a cell? In a straitjacket?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Well,
And I just lift the minigun towards her. I would.
all right. If you want to know, you need to point out the guard with the key.
Like I said, you're not getting out of there until you answer the questions.
Oh, please. What can I do in a cell? I'm in a straitjacket. Even if I did have the key, what would I do with it? It's not like I can poke my hand through my head through the bars.
oh,
This is going nowhere.
you're talking crazy, big guy. Why do you
I'm
think?
crazy.
No, you're talking with crazy. He gestures to the woman. Why do you think we're still going around in circles?
Yeah? Yeah, you do know the definition of insanity.
I don't care. I'm gonna walk back towards the entrance.
Yeah, you guys. I assume you guys just kind of leave this one to be.
As they do, can't
You
you
don't-
look around for said guard?
Nick is moving very slowly. No fact he is moving backwards to follow the group. He didn't turn around.
Indeed, Jane is nowhere to be seen.
Uh-huh.
Although Jane would Jane would still be somewhere in the room watching them, but
Okay,
invisible.
so you see her kind of as you guys leave the shelter doors and leave the facility. You see Jane is just kind of come around the corner.
Say, so, how was that? Did you let the woman go?
No. That's a psychopath. I bet she could probably get out on her own way. Those are bars and she can Cirque du Soleil the fuck out of them, probably.
There was a saying back in the day that people used to say, like, burn it before it lay eggs. But that's not polite, right? Let's just move on.
She can regenerate.
Oh. Does she breathe underwater?
We're in the desert.
Oh, yeah. Jane looks around. Forget about that.
Radio this in.
Okay, you
Just
go ahead
Someone
and
here.
My truck has a communication system. Use that.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up here. I assume you're radioing in the NCR. Oh, he died. Right when he was making a declaration, he died.
I think that's because of internet fucking.
There we go.
You made a declaration before you died. I assume it's the NCR you're calling in.
Yeah, I'm just going on the ranger, the radio channel.
Well,
For
I
whatever
have
rangers are in here.
I have a communication system in my truck. You
I
can,
have one in my headset.
hey, work
You
together.
see him just like tap the like side of his headset and like push a button.
Alrighty.
Start.
So you guys, I assume you're calling in some NCR to clean this place up.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna give a report on the situation, just everything that we've seen so far, as well as the prisoner in there. But I'm gonna say that something doesn't seem right.
Alright.
This is Ranger Knight reporting out.
Okay, and do they know about your situation? About what you are?
Yes,
Okay.
and I'm not exactly a ranger anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I left the NCR.
So they will eventually get there, and we'll have that happen. I'll put that in one of the rumors. I'm gonna have a lot to do here, but one last thing, I want to know before you guys head back to Good Springs and the NCR comes and cleans up this little incident. Does Temmie want to do anything?
They're still making their character.
Yeah, I'm still making my character.
Okay. Well, for now, this particular session, as I hold on a sec, let me switch to a different thing.
Does Jackie get a chance to do her thing,
Yeah,
or
it's
should
actually
she just get taken in by the NCR?
It's gonna be up to you. It depends on what you want to do here. So
Now they're. I mean, she'd start working as soon as they're gone.
either way, that's all for this episode of Fallout: Blood and Sand. Let's see what the NCR finds when they arrive and what will happen afterwards. There will be a lot of events happening in Good Springs and near the area based upon what happened today. Several people have come out of the vault, and more shall be approaching soon. I wonder what chaos they will bring to the wasteland. We will see. See you later.